don't want capacity upgrades because
Yeah,
of
I'm
that.
just like, just make my reload faster. I'm burning money otherwise. Maybe I'll get capacity upgrades at the very end of the game.
I think bits like that. There's no need to remove those. I know you might be like, "Oh, it makes the game so much easier." I'd be like, "No, it's not that much easier as a result of those things. Those things make it really fun though too."
Yeah, because it creates the deal like, okay, I've got 30 rounds in my TMP of a 100-round mag. I'm gonna not reload, even though I've got tons of ammo. I'm going to instead use these 30 rounds and
Yeah,
then switch to a different weapon and until I get to a merchant. I don't care. Like basically the TMP, I have tons of ammo for it, but it is a brick in my brain in my inventory until I get to a merchant and can buy that capacity upgrade. You don't have to do any of that, but it's all kind of fun, you know?
Yep.
oh well. And yeah, they improved the target practice dramatically, and then they make it so you can't fucking target accurately with several weapons. Like, why did you do this to me?
Mods, I think
Mhm.
mods will fix this.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in the mod that just says, "Here, have all the laser pointers
sights,
back."
yeah.
It's like, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
make
thank
everything
you.
a red dot. Yeah.
I guarantee you, it probably the end of the weekend will that'll exist.
Well, modders are
I-
very quick. They already put
I
like
literally-
skins
Yeah,
and
I feel
everything
like it will
around the
not be
internet.
long.
And if someone said a red dot for the shotgun, I'd be like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's a very. We said it for the OG. It's a very gamey game, and
Yeah.
I like the red
That's
dots on
what's
them.
amazing about it.
I know it's silly. I know, but please, I need it. Also, I think the kneecapping is like dependent on damage. Like sometimes it takes a while, or they just die before I can suplex them or something.
It was a bit weird that at the beginning of the game I'm shooting 3 headshots before I get a stagger. I'm not used to that, but I did get used to it, and I think now my weapons are powerful enough that that's not happening as often. I'm running into more helmeted enemies now that I'm in the castle.
I do like some of the upgrades though. I have one of those charms that gives me like a percentage to get a critical melee hit. And earlier
Yeah.
today, I had like a triple kill with a roundhouse kick. I was like, oh yeah,
Oh man,
the
that's nice.
value.
I got an achievement that was I think kill 3 enemies with 1 flashbang grenade. I just had 3 Les Plagas out, all the level 3 ones too, the ones that bite your head off.
Mm-hmm. For a while, I
One
thought that
flashbang
doesn't work anymore because I tried the flash grenade insta kill on that big dog you can kill for the merchant, and it doesn't work on that. So in my brain, it's like, oh, I guess it doesn't work anymore.
I had a moment of gamer shame with it because I realized that I never knew that flashbang grenades killed the Las Plagas.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I played Resident Evil 4 probably about 30 times.
Yeah. Well, I've been reminded last stream, so no problem.
Well, I guess yeah, that would have been it. But I just saw it in the tutorial in this game, and I was like, I guess that makes the flashbangs work all right. And I was out doing med coverage on a range yesterday, and I was playing the original Resident Evil 4 on my Steam Deck, and it works there too. I was like, holy shit, this has always been a thing.
Yeah. I didn't get the achievement, weirdly enough, but I thought I killed 3 of those dogs. But yeah, who knows? Yeah. Hey, Chad, how's it going? As you can see, we're all very, very invested in RE4, and
Oh.
yeah. I mean, if I wouldn't be here, I would just be streaming it. I guess Mupsy, you just finished it, so I guess.
Yep. Never gonna play it ever again in my entire life.
Liar! You're gonna do a pro run like I will.
Yes. Which do you want to know the things about pro?
Oh yeah. What's the
Sure.
the gist on that?
No. Parry. You can only parry. You can't block. So like you
Okay.
have to get perfect hits on the. You know when they connect and you do the parry.
Mm-hmm.
So just holding it up won't do anything anymore. No auto saves. Only typewriter saves.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. No, I'm fine with that.
It's not permanent.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well. No, not permadeath.
Oh, thank God! I was so scared of it.
Yeah, I'll be
Well,
honest.
because MauLer was saying though that for the EFAP for RE4, it's a prerequisite that you beat it on the highest difficulty, and I'm like, okay, but then hardcore, I'm like, oh man, this game is it's no joke in some places, and I was thinking, man, if professional's permadeath, I might not be on that episode.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think. I mean, I don't think everyone's going to be doing it on professional either. Like, there'll probably be us 3 at least, at most.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're gonna be streaming the pro runs too, or are you doing that on your own?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Oh,
Obviously
sweet.
this time around, I've got a lot more understanding of how everything works.
Yeah. I've been kind of being like on like I don't know, like a net zero with my healing. I always have like 2 in my inventory, and then in the section I use like 2 or 1. Like I don't have the overflowing of healing like I had on the pro run on my original Resi playthrough. It's kind of
Yeah, I have almost during my hardcore run. Granted, I'm not fantastic at video games, but I tend to only have 1 or 2 healing items on me at any given time, and it's stressful.
because if you've
But
seen mine and MauLer's playthrough, you might have seen
the
like
OG ones,
one or 2 healing items in those cases.
yeah. MauLer had a nicely organized collection of a few. We'll say a few. That's a good word. It was
Yeah.
very
Thing.
non-specific.
For the new game professional, I don't think I'm going to do anything other than go through with the Sentinel 9 and the Sawn-Off for a while. It'll just be those 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the rifle for very specific times. But the thing is, I just want the inventory space to be able to
Yeah.
take care of myself.
The deluxe weapon is kind of OP with the value you get. It's
The Sawn-Off, yeah, if that is
insane.
deluxe.
Yeah, that's a special one. You don't get that with the normal version. Pretty sure.
Wait, so you have to buy the deluxe version of the game if you want access to extra weapons.
I think so. I don't know if you can get them later.
Did I buy the deluxe version? I pre-ordered it like a year ago because I was
Maybe
like,
it's a
okay,
pre-
I know
maybe it
I
is a
know I'm gonna
pre-order
play
then.
Resident Evil 4. Maybe I mean I might have got the deluxe edition and I'd have been like,
I know.
okay, whatever, Capcom, just make this game good. Here's money.
Yeah.
I don't recommend doing that in all cases. However, on Steam, remember, console players especially, if the game sucks, I can just refund it.
Yeah, you have 2 hours to check
Like
it
a
out.
pre-order on Steam is kind of not like it's not the commitment it is on PlayStation.
James says it's from the deluxe edition apparently. So well, yeah.
Ah, okay. Well,
So if
it
you
looks
can't
like
get them, if you can't get them otherwise, that's a bit lame. I mean,
I'm one of them $10 extra pay pigs then.
yeah, I was too. The demo just
Well,
convinced me.
How good? Well, yeah, I was about to say how good the game is. Like, I'm more than happy to pay
Yep,
extra
no.
for more stuff. But the weird part to me, I guess, is like, if you don't pay, then it's going to be harder to get the higher ranks and stuff. It's just like that's strange.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, it's Capcom doing the thing again where they're doing what they can to dabble with pay microtransaction integration in a way
Mhm.
that is not pay to win, but they always make it a little bit pay to win.
What's
I
the
think
thing?
Devil May
If it
Cry was
were-
the yellow gems you could buy.
If it were a pistol and a shotgun that were fine, or like, it shoots slightly faster but with less damage, you'd be like, okay. But this, like, the inventory space alone, it's amazing. It takes
yeah.
up like, what is it, 4? Or is it 5?
Oh,
Meanwhile,
the lever action?
Yeah, well, the riot gun takes up like, was
Yeah,
it
it's
12?
gigantic.
Yeah, the Skull
Yeah.
Shaker is like, yeah, as you said, I think it's 4. I think it's 4
That was like the
spaces.
main reason. I was just like, I can't justify the riot gun. It's just too fucking fat. I can't fit
Yeah.
it in my thing.
I just like the riot gun.
Metal is still playing Iron Force. No, I'm not. I would like to, but there's commitments to uphold.
I am playing Diablo 4 right now, but it's not very difficult and
Yeah.
just kind of clicking.
How's
on
how's that one?
monsters.
How's the first
Honestly,
impression of that?
a lot better than I thought it was going to be. If it weren't free this weekend, it's the open beta weekend. That's actually the Diablo 4 is a game I did not pre-order, which is why I didn't play it last weekend. But it is fun, you know what it is? It seems to me, and I think I can safely say this because the end game won't really be a factor here. Diablo 4 seems like the kind of game that would be good for someone who casually likes ARPGs, which I don't know is what Diablo purists want to hear. But I mean, for me, I'm just like, okay, off the bat, I'm jumping in, and what this feels like is a game that has Diablo 3's polish and sort of smoothness to its gameplay, but it has Diablo 2's darkness and really fucked up horror shit and kind of gritty tone. that I like, and it's basically all the Diablo 2 character classes as well. So off the bat, I was okay. I know what these people are and what they do.
Right.
And yeah, and I put up a YouTube short of myself. I found out that the arcade stick I use for fighting games works really well to play Diablo.
Oh, okay.
And
That's fun.
it's in front of me on like my little setup, and I just kind of knocked the analog stick, like the actual stick. You might be able to hear it clicking there.
Yeah.
And my character moved on the screen. I was like, oh shit. And then yeah, I played it. So here, there's the plug to go to my YouTube channel. I uploaded a YouTube short of me playing Diablo 4 with an arcade fight stick.
Nice.
And my puppy is featured at the end. You might have heard her on EFAP.
Always the cheating with the puppy. That's just not fair.
Yeah, that's my gimmick. It's like, hey man, my Metroid video has been blowing up lately, so I now I can't change anything that I've been doing,
Yeah.
which means I might be stuck making YouTube shorts for a very long time.
Wait,
MauLer actually have a
isn't
clip of
working?
you and the Lofty
Oh,
Pixels.
why did it break all?
Oh.
YouTube broke all the links I put in.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I'll finish that thought though, MauLer. I put up one of you talking about Faith's Redemption on Lofty's stream there.
Oh. I do get a bit obsessive with the old Buffy, but don't say nothing in front of Mr. Moodle here.
I will not.
Oh.
I learned that lesson. I'm trying to keep X-Ray Girl spoiler free as well, but I don't know. It's so hard to get her to watch stuff. She's making her way through Star Trek, and she's got like 40 years of stuff to to watch for that. I was like, man, when am I gonna get you to watch Buffy? She crushed Firefly really quick, but it's not as tall an order.
One day it's gonna happen with the Buffy. It's gonna take a long time.
It's amazing that it was Faith you brought up though, because Faith's kind of my favorite character in a lot of ways. She's at least the one that I found the hottest when I was growing up.
That's fair. That is a fair choice.
And I like that she had a kind of complicated story with some moral ambiguity to it. You know, I won't say more than that.
Yeah. Check the links now. I've tried to fix them. I just copied them in again, so hopefully it doesn't do some shenanigans. Should hopefully be good. Let me double check. Looks fine to me, so it should be good. All right. Well. We're here for a movie, yeah, because it's not really games these days. There's movies coming out. Did you see one of these movies ever, guys? Have you heard of movies?
A couple. One or two.
No.
So it's like you can go to like a building. They have like a big screen, and there's like moving pictures on it. It's crazy.
Why?
I don't know. There's like stories on it. It's a bit scary actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds scary.
Whoa,
You're just sitting around all these strangers?
RE4 remake for once. Well, that's gonna change at some point. But yeah, we went out our way and watched good old Johnny Wick Chapter 4. Yeah, I mean, what you guys think? Should we go from left to right? The classic, stolen from EFAB.
We invented
sure.
EFAB invented that.
I'm probably going to be the most positive on this. Knowing what I know about the way you guys feel about the John Wick films, I think John Wick 2 and 3 are kind of just dumb fun, because I think that this movie also has the problem of it seems to kind of just make up rules in this lore as it needs to, and unfolds in a way that is not super great storytelling wise. But man, I thought this movie was tons of fun from beginning to end, and I was sort of able to disregard a lot of the complexity of the John Wick lore and kind of just focus on, hey,
You could call it
these
lore,
are
if you
some-
will, yeah.
yeah, like I've sort of even said that as if you could hear the quotation marks. But yeah, I thought Donnie Yen absolutely stole the show, and I kind of loved watching him. I thought all the new characters held their own pretty well. I thought the action was choreographed in a way that was very flashy and entertaining. I don't know that it would hold up to nearly as much scrutiny as the action scenes in the original would, as far as their logic and realism's not the right word, but I don't know. Let's just go with logic. But I thought that a lot of the choices for the way the action was shot were kind of incredible in this movie, and I think that it seems like a movie that was really, really good being shot by a second unit director. Like where if you just kind of disregard all the layers of complexity that sort of complicate the actual issue that's there, what you've got is a bunch of stuntmen, a bunch of cinematographers, and a bunch of martial artists doing really solid work that's fun to watch. That's about it. My short review.
Very well. MauLer.
I think it's better than 2 and 3, but it's still terrible. Sorry. So much that was fucking broken, and I actually got to the point of wondering, I didn't know if this was supposed to be a comedy anymore. I wasn't sure. Like with how they were doing some stuff, I was like, this is so terrible that I assume this is terrible on purpose, and that they want people to laugh. I'm not clear. I can't believe John Wick, possibly, I'd have to recount it, got like hit into or by a car like 7 times.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Fringy, I think, said it was the end of John Wick 3 that really like pushed him out of the series. It was like that fall off the Continental. And he asked me, he's like, is there any fall like that in number 4? And I was like, yes, there is. He does it again.
That's 2, actually.
There's one where his spine should be broken. There's another one where he should just be paced. But, that's the John Wick movies now. That's what they do.
Yeah.
However, I was surprised when I found myself actually caring about, I think, the character that Hiroyuki Sanada plays, I want to say. It didn't take him very long to actually create someone that I could give a shit about, because they just don't do character stuff anymore, but they did a little bit of it in this film for once, which was neat. And yeah, Donnie Yen was my favorite thing in the film.
Yeah.
It was nice that they actually had to finally do new choreography, because he's a blind man, and so his fights actually like involve things that John Wick can't do. But like, there's still a stain on the movie, and there's still plenty of things I hate about the way they make these films. But like, an example would be that dude's daughter from the beginning of the film, when she like starts fighting, she's got a bow and arrow, and it's just like meh. But then when she starts using guns, she fights almost exactly the same way John Wick does. And I was just like, I hate the fact that like you have a chance to show off a really completely new style, and she does all the same moves he does, even down to like the holding someone down who's wounded until you are reloading the gun, and as soon as it's reloaded, some other guy comes around the corner and goes, blah, and then you shoot that guy, and then you shoot the guy on the floor, and then you're like, yeah, I'm badass. Like, they did that one still a few times. But yeah, overall, I guess it is the second best John Wick, but it's still shit. And I wish it were better.
Well, I mean, you pretty much hit all the beats I would have said as well.
Yeah, I'm here for diversity. Woo!
I think the guy you're talking about, the Hiroyoku, that's probably the Continental guy, right, from Japan, the Koji guy. Yeah. They gave him something. It was kind of nice.
It's something.
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically the same what MauLer said. It's just there were some things where I'm about to like kind of get in, because like, oh, I know there's just gonna be people being stunned for 7 seconds until they have to get shot or get in there, and then something so outrageous happens, like, okay, I'm out of it again. It's like, you almost had me just here for the enjoyment, and then he just jumps out of a window and is fine. It's like, no, why? And then, as you said, he gets run over all the time. And the amount of people he kills in this movie, and just he just doesn't get hit properly. Like, they use the stupid suit mechanic so much.
Yeah.
The introduction of that suit is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. I hate it so much.
Yep.
And
it's probably the biggest problem with the suit.
I have been preaching that since John Wick 2.
Yeah.
People need to listen. Like, it destroyed John Wick, the stupid suits.
Yeah, and now
fucking superhero bullshit.
And then
plot armor at its worst.
And then they realized, oh, if the table people are here, they should probably have suits.
Yeah,
and
they finally fucking caught up with that.
And they all have suits now as well. And it's really interesting, and we probably talk about it when we get there. But the suits are more effective than actual plate armor that the soldiers have. It's fucking insane. They do. I mean, you said the Koji stuff is kind of neat. I like that, but him existing breaks a bit, gives problems for the third movie, that he just had a Continental dude as a close friend.
There's
apparently.
loads of these films just do that all the fucking time. They're just like, suddenly this is a thing now, and it's like, what?
Yeah, they invent like multiple things in this movie again. It's like, oh yeah, that happens. We didn't see or hear anything about this, but trust me, that's what happened. But yeah, I would also say it's better than 2 and 3. I wonder how much though. I'll probably do a deep dive in this movie at some point in the future, but for now, I guess we can just jump in. I guess.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought I didn't hear the wombo noises. Because yeah, it immediately starts with an unknown amount of time has passed, and John is just was living with the hobo king apparently, and just
healing up,
rehabbing. I like to remember people. There's a bounty on John Wick of 7 million currently, I think, at the time. But no one. I guess he's safe with the hobos. That's what we have to assume. I can't tell you how much time has passed. I can't tell you if people try to get there. And also, don't warm up to the Hobo King. I thought we would get like a big Hobo King faction fight with someone else, but no, they're just non-existent. I don't know if they just didn't get the actor to do more or something, but I don't know. The Hobo Kings are barely a factor. We don't even see any homeless people.
Yeah,
they're just there, and he's like, "Hey, here is a new suit that's bulletproof." It's like, oh god damn it! He gets 2 bulletproof suits in this movie, by the way. Like, he gets 2 fresh suits from the Hobo King. It's
Yep.
It's just like, okay, so we're just having those.
I'm confused. Why don't we just have everybody wear ninja suits? Basically, like a big, tight sock that goes over your whole body.
Yeah, I mean, it seems really effective, that shit. So
exactly. Why not?
I don't know.
The reason then becomes, why not just have it be an undergarment and wear whatever the hell you want?
Yeah. It's
although in this one they flat out just made it vibranium, right?
It's been like that since John Wick 2. This is not new. This is the same shit. They've just put it on everyone now. Which makes fights bizarre, because everyone's hiding behind their coats. It's just fucking lame.
I guess that's a question, and it put together in my head sufficiently, even though I think it's really, really stupid. That is the suit the reason he's able to take impacts from falling?
I don't know if that's what they want us to think.
Trauma.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that the reason is yes, that it's not just small objects that get stopped by it, and a bit of absorption of the kinetic force of something like a bullet. It can, like, if you get hit by a car, it will protect you from that also.
How does that work in terms of physics?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't in real life.
It doesn't work like that. People get run over that have the suits on and just incapacitated in the
for some reason
section. So
I thought it was really funny when he tanks like 7 cars and then he throws the mini boss into a car and that stuns him.
Yep.
I was like, how?
Yeah.
How?
So they made these rules for John, but they don't apply to anyone else. I think I said it on a stream. Like, I would be surprised if Captain America would survive this kind of damage that John sustained with all the car hits. Like, you could put John Wick with the power level he has in this movie. You could put them in a Marvel movie. He would.
Oh, absolutely.
It's insane.
It felt to me like they'd figured out how to film a really good-looking guy getting hit by a car, and then they were like, "Man, we should do that a couple times because that's just we've cracked the technology or the special effect or whatever." And then they were like, "Can we do it 14 times?" It's like, let's do it.
I mean, I guess we can. So
yeah, I really didn't like that whole action scene. I know we'll get there much later on, but the roundabout one, not a fan.
Yeah. Oh, it's non-stop with this one. There's somewhere. I mean, I'm probably not going to go deep into every action scene because that's probably going to take like a million years because those action scenes are long in this movie. Like the first one is 30 minutes, and I think the last one is also like 30-40 minutes all the way through with all the sections together. I can see why people enjoy this just for the dumbness of it, but for me it's just like, oh, you almost got me there, and then, well, things happen. But yeah, the Hobo King is like, "Ah, are you ready, John?" That's like a little Hobo King speech like he does because he can't talk like a normal person for the most part.
Nope.
And all of a sudden, John is in the desert. It goes back to where the elder guy was in the third movie. Remember that guy? Yeah, we're going there. But there's
It's
another.
a different guy.
But there's a new elder guy who said, "Yeah, the other one died, so we can't help you. So you came here for nothing." And John's like, yeah, no," and shoots him in the face.
It's just so funny. I can't wait for them to say, the only way, John, that you will ever truly be free, because he's still not by the next movie, is you have to defeat all of the elders of the table. And then they're like, who are the elders of the table? Michelle Yeoh will be one of them by the time we get to that shit. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then like
It's just the
some other person.
It's just the Expendables.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like getting so clowny because it's
Not
funny, right? Like,
Stallone though, and Stallone will just be like, "Well, I already made that movie."
we're allowed to jump around here, right?
Oh yeah, go nuts.
Because I was just gonna say, like, the story ends kinda.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I wasn't aware there was a post-credits scene apparently, because apparently there is one. I don't even know what happens in it.
There's
What
one.
happens?
I found that out on FNT.
I think it's Kane, the daughter of Koji, and Winston having some kind of moment. I think because I left the cinema. Someone told me. Maybe someone in chat knows it. I actually forgot about it when I was doing my notes today and yesterday.
They do kind of do a Kill Bill style seed of her coming after Kane. Like,
yeah,
it's almost the exact same thing with Vernita Green and Kill Bill. If you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the same line. I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting. Yeah.
I don't know that I want that film.
Well,
I
we're
really
getting those
love
spin-off
Donnie Yen.
shows still. Those are still
I'm
getting
just
made.
I'm so tired of everything to do with the
Shared
John Wick
universe.
formula, dude. When Clancy Brown put a fucking hourglass on the table and then said, "You have an hour," I like just started laughing, and Frankie was like, "What?" And I was like, "It's fucking shit, man."
I was in the cinema. I had to hold myself back because, like
why
do you have this? And it's gonna get destroyed apparently, unless he took it with him.
It's just stupid.
It's insane. It's like this is a big hourglass.
Do you like our analog antique technology? It makes us edgy and weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
It's yeah. I don't. It's like his face. Like, look how cool this looks. Like, yeah, but why though? Why?
Oh,
Why?
Stop.
You don't need this. So, yeah, maybe put point out before he gets to the elder, he shoots like 3 people on horseback, and I guess that's all the security the elder has, which is like a really important.
No, there was a whole movie there of him killing everyone he needed
okay.
to get there. Okay, those were the last 3 dudes.
Yeah. Also, another thing in the third one was like this big thing. It's like, oh, you need to wander the desert, and then he finds you if you're lucky. And now John just rode up to him. I guess. I guess he didn't change places.
Don't remind me that shit in the third film. Oh my god.
You
The Halle Berry like spat water into a bottle or whatever.
Yeah. Oh. You're right.
Oh god.
So dumb. Yeah.
Also, yeah, John can still just travel around the world, even though there's a bounty on him. He just teleports. It's never been addressed. It's not getting addressed here. It's just like, we're back in New York.
Like,
no, in Paris.
Nothing ever lasts in this fucking universe. Nothing. Everything can be undone in some way, shape, or form by someone in some way.
Yeah.
There's always something. It could be like, and they fuck with it all the time. They benefit from both worlds. On one hand, they'll be like, no, John, what you've done now, here and now, like in John Wick 2, right? It's like, you've made yourself excommunicado. You're done. This is it. Your life is over. And then he's like, so how do I undo it? It's like, oh, well, you got to do this. Like, yeah. Okay. So annoying. It takes so because like they want the grand impact of something like that, but then they also want to keep the story fucking going.
Yeah, have you guys? It's a bit of a tangent, but I am going to tie it back into directly what we're talking about here. I promise.
Worries.
Have you guys ever read Stephen King's On Writing?
No.
I've heard many of the quotes from it though.
Okay, so Stephen King writes in the way that I think the John Wick films are written, and Stephen King, I think, has written some great books. He's written a lot of terrible books. I think sometimes this method works. a lot of the times it really backfires, especially when it comes to concluding things, which I think is probably Stephen King's biggest issue. But basically what he does is just start writing. Like, he kind of has a basic premise in his head, begins to write, and all of the story unfolds based on what he feels he knows about the character. Like, there's value in that, in drawing the story out of the characters that you're creating and getting to know them and allowing the story to develop organically from there. And sometimes that pulls him in really crazy directions, and other times he ends up writing something like, Green Mile. And and it's just a really solid story that's quite grounded and has a very clear point to it. I think that the John Wick writers just threw in the stuff about the hotel, about the coins, about basically the premise that you would need to have Keanu Reeves playing a guy who is an elite assassin who's out of the game, but then he's getting pulled back in. And they didn't really think about it too much further than that. It's like, hey, let's throw in some mystery box stuff that we're probably never going to have to address. It'll just seem like this is a really cool world. And they never realized, okay, now we've got one of the biggest franchises in the world. Let's sit down and actually structure this whole thing. It feels like they're just still writing it as they go, as far as the way this world works.
Well,
it doesn't.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as MauLer was saying, it doesn't really feel like anything actually sticks. It's
Yeah.
always like, well, you went and talked to the elder, but now that's the low table elder. There's actually the double high table elder, and he has the Marquis, who's his hand and who kind of has some direct links to it, but not really. Fuck you. Is it Clancy Brown? No, he doesn't. He's not even part of the table. What? It seems like who knows how any of it works? Like it's.
I was actually about to point it out, and someone in the chat just pointed it out as well. That when they made the first movie, there was no intention for a sequel. But it made so much money, they were like, "Hey, do more," and
hence why it's such a solid story that should have been left alone.
Yeah,
but
like the
never
first
mind.
one is still really good. I mean, it has like some instances of this of like the whole weird fight stuff where people run into people, but it's not even close to what we have in the other ones. Yeah, because the last one you could just end it there. He gets like his new dog and goes home and chills out. But now we have to do. In the second one, it's like, oh, here's this guy, and marker, what's that? Oh, you have to do it, and then John has to pretend like he doesn't know what it is. And then the third one, they establish he made a marker pact himself, so why the fuck didn't you know how this works? It's almost like have like
He
half a
forgot
script.
he forgot he is fine.
Yeah, forgot he. So yeah, we travel to New York now, and the way I understand it is because John killed that elder dude, a lot of people have consequences for that. And in New York's case, Winston gets visited by this big fella, who I
Clancy
think
Brown.
yeah, who's I think also part of the Marquis people. It's
I don't
like
fucking know anymore.
There can be only one.
Yeah, I'll have them. So
He fucking called him a harbinger. I cringed out of my life. I was like, "Are you serious? How many times are you gonna give me these weird nouns?"
they like those. They do like those. So yeah, basically the Continental Hotel. After you remember at the end of 3, where they made like this deal that everything is cool. Now now they've been condemned, and the Continental is gonna get destroyed. And
yeah, about that.
And as MauLer said, that guy opens up his bag, puts a huge ass hourglass on the table. It's like,
comically large, really.
You have 1 hour. And his laugh's like, oh, so
You could have just said I have 1 hour.
yeah.
It's a stupid hourglass. Seriously, I'm so Resi brained. I see it and I'm like, I wonder how much that's worth. 10,000, probably 15,000 potatoes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there's a hourglass in Resident Evil. So yeah, and then it's like, hey, Sharon, go evacuate the hotel. And they have like a little bit of, there's like some character. I don't even know the name of the guy, but he is missing his ring finger as well. So I guess there's some small characterization. Good, hooray! I don't know.
I don't remember what that even means. What does it mean that you've done when you lose
That's like
your finger?
That was like the sacrifice John had to make. I just don't remember why. It's been so long since
Get
I
his
watched
chance
the third
at unexcommunicating himself.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
Okay.
I
that
guess-
was actually a thing in Assassin's Creed as well, the cutting off the ring finger to show that
Mhm.
your commitment to the Order of Assassins. I'm assuming that's based on some actual mythology, and they just pulled it into John Wick. But
Probably.
that's why in the first Assassin's Creed games, Altair, the hidden blade comes out through the space in his fist where the finger would have been. And the idea was that Da Vinci was supposed to be the one who figured out how to build it in a way that doesn't do that. And then they made a bunch of Assassin's Creed games where they don't have take place long before Renaissance Italy, but they don't have to cut off their finger to
Yeah.
use it. So.
Someone just pointed out it's also a Yakuza thing. That's true, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where they have to, you did a bad, cut off your pinky.
Oh, no, yeah. So that's you did it as punishment. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yakuza do that. But the Order of Assassins thing, it's more like an initiation thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
To get into the group, you need to do this.
Right. So yeah, he goes to evacuate the hotel, and they go to a building wherever that Marquis guy is. He's like the Marquis von Glipglop or whatever. I don't care.
Really lame new villain.
I just call him the Marquis. I think he's called Vincent or something. I don't know. I don't know. He's edgy French
Bill
guy.
Skarsgård, who I kind of like, but I don't know why they made such a like. This is John Wick. If you're going to embrace the dumb, why can't you make like a more extravagant and interesting bad guy instead of just Guy?
Yeah, I'm Guy. But the way it works, like he is the Marquis, and he has been selected by all 12 members of the table, and he gets all the resources he ever needs and wants that the table have, so he can deal with everyone that's been fucking up shit for everyone. That includes
And
John
he only
Wick
got
and-
that job because he said he can do it.
Right, yeah.
That's pretty much what they tell us. It's like he's promised he can get the job done. It's like, okay.
Yeah, the table sucks, guys. Like, they're fucking idiots. They have apparently unlimited resources, but they struggle so badly with everything. It's like, oh, you can do it? Okay. And they even point out later in the movies, like, oh yeah, even if you kill that guy, they're just gonna replace him with someone else. Like the table basically goes like, oh, we're just gonna throw shit at the problem until it drowns in poop.
Well, yeah, John's just got to kill members of the table.
Yeah.
He's got to do in the 7th movie or whatever.
Yeah, because I thought that's actually what we're doing in this one. We're just having a war against the table itself, which I guess it kind of happens, but it's not really factions against factions. It's still John and a few people going at them. But yeah, and then you have some blah blah. It's like, oh, consequences, and that Winston believes in consequence, but also in second chances. And then what did the guy say? Oh yeah, it's like, this is where we differ, you and I. And he says, second chances are the refuge of men who fail. It's like, oh god.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad line.
Oh,
There's loads of bad lines in this.
he's like,
I feel bad for the scriptwriter.
it's just like, here, I'm going to do something evil and trick people, and look, but I'm actually a coward. And then he dies. He doesn't do anything. He's just like, I want to put the feathers in my cap for all these things, but I'm actually just commanding people around. So yeah, in the meantime, I don't know if it's the same hourglass or another hourglass, doesn't matter. They have another big ass hourglass there, and it goes down, and when all the sand is through it, we see the Continental Hotel in the background explode. Mind you,
It's really fucking stupid.
mind
I honestly
you,
thought they were still in it. I got kind of confused. I was like, wait, did I miss them leaving the Continental?
oh, they just cut. They just cut to the other building and they get in there.
Yeah, I know.
And
They did have Winston call for an evacuation, but that's still absolutely retarded. Would never happen. It would never happen.
So, mind you, the Continental is surrounded by a lot of skyscrapers, and you would not blow up that building in the middle of all these skyscrapers. Imagine
You'd never get permission for it. It just wouldn't happen.
Also, we are led to believe they evacuated and rigged the Continental Hotel with explosives in an hour and then blew it up. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, we see like surrounded by the skyscrapers, goes like boom. It's like, oh, okay.
I think I could go as far. I could probably accept that they had all the Continentals wired with explosives to be like, if we ever have to do this, it's happening.
I mean, they sound like they would be that
I
stupid.
don't know that they ever said that. And
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely
I
not.
get that I get that that's writing the movie for them, but I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of contingency that they might account for.
So yeah, they blow that up, and where was I? Oh yeah, I'm pretty convinced there's just no government in the John Wick universe. Like we see the police one time in the first movie, and a little bit in the second when when his house gets blown up. But in this whole movie, there's no.
Are we supposed to believe like the fucking U.S. government are just all the table or some shit?
Probably, because there's nothing there. Like they just blow shit up. They go through all of Paris, and
they get to the table and it's
shoot
Bush, Obama, Biden.
That would be hilarious. That would be funny as shit. But yeah, there's no police that deals with anything. They're not even coming up to anything. It's just they just let them do their shit, and then someone gets to clean it up in the end. I don't know. But forget about governments and police and firemen. It's just not here. It's not happening. Yeah, and then the Marquis is like, well, you're fired, Winston, so now you don't need a concierge anymore, and then he kills Sharon.
Yeah, I thought that was evil. A little,
which is a bit
unfortunate.
I guess. Yeah, because the actor just died. Of course, they didn't know that, so yeah, it's a bit. They probably wouldn't have done that if they would have known that happens. But yeah, he gets killed.
I think that it's still a little bit of a lame end to that character because he's been in all the films so far, and he's not even killed in a fight, or he's not killed when doing a sacrifice of some kind. He's just executed randomly. It's like, oh.
And he even gets to fight alongside John for a bit in the third one, which people were very excited about. But yeah, he gets shot, and Winston is very sad because they're very close friends apparently. Which I can believe. They work alongside in the Continental. Of course, now Winston is the big mad at Kane, and I guess we did that so now John and Winston can team up later in the movie. So yeah, that's that to the Continental. Oh yeah, the thing is, the table apparently believes that all of New York is the problem with the John Wick, so I guess now they just don't have a Continental in there anymore. I wonder where all the assassins go.
That's a part of it I didn't even think was worth mentioning, but I guess it kind of is. Just like, what is that? Like, your policy is you blow up the building when the people inside it aren't doing what you want. How about you just replace the people, you idiot?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because now you have like all these assassins who have been going in there quite frequently. I mean, that fucker was full all the time when we were in there. So I guess they have to go to the next state or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem very very practical to just blow it up.
Oh.
And then the Marquis is like, hey, get me Kane, and we briefly talked about him as Donnie Yen, and he's a fun little character. I like him.
Yeah.
Brought in to provide some life to this dying franchise.
Yeah, he's like is a bit fun. He's like just drinking his tea, has some soup, has some ramen when he's in Japan.
Loves the soup.
And as you already said, MauLer, it's like they had to get a little bit more creative the way he fights.
Yeah. There's some stuff that's bullshit, but there's some stuff I was just like, that's fun. Yeah. I like that.
You probably mean when he has to put out the sensors and stuff, right?
The doorbell.
That was kind of neat.
Just all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of little things he does that looks like they actually have to try.
Yeah,
to make
like
it believable.
He touches things, or he checks which side of his cane is up currently and stuff. I saw a bunch of small things. I probably should have written them down. Didn't think we were going to talk about that, but yeah, I think he does like a good job in general, just playing a blind person. It's pretty neat.
Yep.
He still shoots people from across the room somehow.
Well, so I was wondering the whole time, it's like, does he have Daredevil vision? It's like, I don't think so.
No.
He's just really lucky.
It's a bit weird. So just to tie this up before we go further. So apparently he made a deal with someone, the Marquis guy, I think. that his daughter is getting protected. And in the way, and they say this later, sorry. Apparently he had to give his eyesight in order for that to happen. So
And from what I heard as well, I don't know if I got the wrong idea, but that he was trying to get out of the business and he was almost successful, but she got in or something.
Okay. That's not the idea. Maybe I missed that. I mean, that's nothing I caught that I say that. Maybe it's like a sideline that
I might have
missed.
misheard something. I don't know.
I just know that she has to be protected, and he apparently is not allowed to get close to her because the Marquis is like, you were pretty close to her, that's pretty dangerous. I was like, okay. And I don't know if he had to give his eyesight for protection and getting out of there or something. But then I'm just confused why he learned to fight again that well. It's just I was confused how things happened. Maybe I need to look into it further, but I feel like there's a bit of information missing. I'm a bit confused as to why he's blind because of this happening. I don't know if maybe someone in chat has an idea. I don't know about you guys, but I am a bit confused what is actually going on.
I have no clue.
Well, okay, there you go.
And when I say I'm going to be the most positive on this, I'm not going to defend bullshit.
No, I got you. It's all good. Metal, you're thinking about this way more than the writers. That happens a lot to us, unfortunately.
That's what we do.
Oh yeah, just randomly, the English version I watched in the cinema actually had German subtitles, and it was very distracting for me. That's the first time I've ever seen that in the cinema in my cinema that I go to, at least. And even like the woman that was next to me was like, really, subtitles? Why? And I was like, yeah, exactly, why? Yeah, that was kind of weird. Didn't expect that. So yeah, they get him in there, but it's like, hey, you're gonna help us? Like, no, I'm retired. I'm not gonna help you. It's like, yeah, you will, or your daughter is in danger. He's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I guess the idea being like, oh look, he had to sacrifice something. It's getting dragged back in, like John Wick. Oh my god.
And also like Jolla Bongo from the 5th movie, whenever that comes out, he'll be this huge dude who is the best assassin in the world outside of John Wick, and he'll have his grandpa who plays chess all the time, but he always plays chess backwards.
Yeah,
because that's what he does. And the only way to show that he's a friendo is that he plays it normally, and that's going to be a big reveal at the end. And it'll be really sad because the grandpa will kill himself to release Bobo Jumbo from.
Is it because he held his weapon backwards too?
Yeah.
I just got up on how do you play chess backwards? You start from checkmate.
That's how fucking cool he is.
That's how good he is.
You have to work your way back to all your pieces being on the board and like at the ready position.
Most of the reason Donnie Yen's character is so good is because he's one with the Force and the Force is with him. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the other movie where he plays a blind guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's blind there too, right? Oh, okay.
In Rogue One.
Guess he has. It's probably like ableist or something that he did that. He's gonna get cancelled soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I'll give him a pass. I
Sweet.
speak for the disabled.
Donnie, you're fine. You're good.
Oh no.
And then we get another character that's gonna go for the movie. He just calls himself Nobody in here, and he is a tracker.
I think that should all have been cut. All the stuff to do with him.
Yeah, I don't. He's just in here. It's like
Feels very superfluous.
He's just here to
I'm
save.
not particularly interested in his story. He wants money.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, but
there's one moment.
He has a doggo though.
Yeah, which is obviously the Halle Berry dogs. People like them, and so they're like, we should have dog.
Yeah.
People like dogs. When dogs eat people's nuts, that's great.
Yeah, he even called the command. He goes nuts. I was like, ha, get it? Nuts. Funny.
Yep.
He's also here to save John like twice, I think. Like once against Donnie Yen, and then against the Marquis henchman guy, I think, at the end. Yeah. He's like kind of flip-flopping back and forth because he wants to get the most money from the Marquis guy. But as long as he doesn't get it, for some reason he saves John so he doesn't get killed. So
Yeah, the idea being keep John alive so that the money keeps going up. Right?
Exactly, yeah. And I think he needs like 40 million. And if you wonder what is a tracker, I'm not entirely sure, but I guess he's just good at getting information. Like he has this notebook where he scribbles all these things in. He's like, and he's very, very, very good for the audience because like, oh, what is these guys? And then he puts his note. Oh, this emblem means Marquis, and it's written big enough so you can read it from across the room as well. It's very handy.
Well,
He
mostly
had the
just,
exposition notebook.
Yeah.
they tell us he's a really good tracker. We don't really see it.
No, he
He
just
does it.
appears where John is. Like, hey, he's
Yeah.
in Berlin now. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, now he's here. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of there. But yeah, as you said, we need dog and stuff.
I appreciate dog. But
I mean,
at the same
yeah.
time, when you said you hit my puppy, I kind of felt pandered to. I was like,
I wasn't sold on that at all. I was like, your fucking puppy is biting people's necks. Of course, I fucking beat the shit out of your puppy.
yeah, no, that part's true also.
And it's really annoying because every single character doesn't it, like turns into a fucking ragdoll whenever the dog bites them. They can't do anything.
Yeah,
It's not how humans work. You should
Yeah,
see
even
what
when
humans
the
will do
dog's
to a
running
fucking
at
dog
them.
if they bite them.
there were moments in this movie in which people armed with a loaded firearm just allowed a dog to run up to them.
Oh yeah, if they don't do that, they just run
that
towards
happened
the
more
enemy.
than a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's a staple of the movie now. Enemies with guns just running into people or not shooting people. That's
It's so funny. Stupid tracker man. He's like he notices the emblem on the security guards at one point, and he checks his notebook, and it's like, oh, this emblem means the Marquis. He's like, how do you know that? Where did you get that from? I didn't know that.
Well, he's a tracker, so shut up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it'll be like, you see how clever our writing is that we showed that he has it written down. It's like, yeah, but where did he get it from? And if it's not like if it's knowledge you can just collect, then it's just like, well, then why is it considered special?
Maybe he got it from the dark web.
Oh, you've never heard of the Marquis before? Well, fuck you.
It was Johnny doesn't
happening
even know
now.
who it is, and this time I actually believe he doesn't know who that is because they made it up.
They always make it up.
Yeah. But
They just
yeah,
want like cool sounding names for stuff. Eventually, like, where's the High Table? And you'd be like, the High Temple. And where's the High Temple? The Mausoleum. And where's that? The burial chamber of the kinetic Sky Force. And you're like, what the?
Where
What is that? Like,
Gosh, keep up.
Keep up, loser.
Even paying attention.
Oh god, but yeah.
It seems like a South Park parody.
oh, this film is so easy to parody. This was almost parody at some points. The staircase was
Dude,
parody.
I was laughing actually in the cinema, and I think a lot of people in the cinema were too. When he just keeps falling, it's like 30 seconds of him rolling down the stairs.
I'm out of sync with the film at that point. I can only see Homer falling down the gorge. I just don't like. And if they're like, that's what we're going for, it's like, do you know what movie you're making?
Yeah.
Simpsons is a comedy about a stupid fat American man who doesn't know what he's doing. This is not that. Like, what are you?
Oh god, yeah. It's but hey, who cares? We're in Japan now. Woo!
Whoa.
How did we get here? We cut here. Shut up.
No.
Where all the fucking concierge idiots use melee weapons and bows and arrows when if they all had guns, it'd be over in seconds.
Yep. So yeah, we see a concierge lady, which we learn is the daughter of the manager, who's Koji. We have to we do a little setup here, and he's probably the most likable character in the John Wick franchise so far. Because he just has banter with the concierge, and at this time we don't know yet that that's the daughter. It's like, oh, it says here I have a dinner with my daughter, and it's like, well, your daughter thinks you're working too hard, and then yeah, we learn she is the daughter, and it's like, well, it's just a nice. They just like each other. It's quite wholesome.
I like them both.
Yeah, because he said like because they talk like they talk business talk. But then they kind of drop it a little bit at some point. And then when they go back, it's like, well, tell my daughter that I'm looking forward to my dinner with her. It's like, oh, that's awesome. That's neat. But yeah, she tells him, it's like, oh, something's going to happen soon probably because it's basically an open secret that you and John are friends. and you're probably working with him. It's like, well, then we'll deal with it when it gets there or something. And yeah, John is already here. He's waiting on the roof, looking into the distance, waiting for Koji to get up here. I don't know why he just sit in the chair, but it's fine. It looked
So
cool.
funny, right? Like the other two movies were certainly John Wick 2 and 3, where it's just like John Wick has nowhere to go. The whole world will kill him, and then this film's just like you can hide here, I guess.
Yeah. So
It's like why? Because he's friends with the guy. Like oh, okay.
yeah, and it's so it seems like they tell us like they're so tight, like they're like super duper good friends. We never heard anything of them, but this guy is willing to sacrifice his men, the Continental itself, and his life for John.
Yep.
It's like
Daughter.
and his daughter is like, why? It's like, I don't know, they're close. We're like, look, we talk to each other. It's like, oh, isn't that nice? They're sake together now. They're friends. It's like, why why don't we mention them like throughout the movies? Like, oh man, I could go to Japan to this friend, but I can't do that to my friend because I'm good friends with him. But then remember, oh wait, in 2, the last time he called someone a friend, he just killed them, even though they're part of the table. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the Italian lady.
Yeah, Gianna de Antonio, yeah. And yeah, if you had a friend that's so close, that is a manager that would sacrifice you, why did you bother with Halle Berry in the third one and turn in this marker? This just makes John look really bad. Like he just went through this marker shenanigans. That's the reason why he's back in. And then he goes to someone else like, you're back in now as well. Get fucked. Even though I have this friend with a Continental as well that has an army that could help me. It's like, okay. Thanks, John. So yeah. Well, we're here now, and yeah, the Marquis people are here too now. Oh, how convenient. I guess it happens right now. It's going down. So there's like, hey, can we talk to the manager? It's like, yeah, sure. Make yourself comfortable or something. And she goes to as far as like, the Marquis is here. Oh God. It's like, well, then we're gonna fight. And he assembles his ninja samurai warriors with bows and katanas and shuriken. Why don't they have guns, guys?
I mean, it was right there for them to have it make more sense as a melee fight too, because the premise of that scene of him coming up to, or of the concierge staff stopping them was saying, "Hey, you got to turn in your guns if you want to come in here. Like, no business like this shall be conducted on Continental grounds." It's kind of always been a thing with the series. And then they're like, "No, we're not going to give up our guns," and then have a fight against the staff that mostly have melee weapons. So that was definitely an odd choice.
It also annoyed me that like they have the complete drop on him, even with the bows and arrows, but then they fire one shot into one guy and he dies, and then they fire another shot and it hits the guy's arm.
Oh,
he puts his arm up.
He blocks it.
Yeah.
It's he puts it up really fast. Like, oh, okay.
Why haven't you got guys basically at the point of full executions? Everyone's hitting the head immediately. That's what should have happened.
And they're very accurate with their bows, as we see later on.
It's so like I legit don't get it sometimes. It's like, what's the setup here? It's like, well, we don't have guns. Like that's really stupid. But don't worry, because we've got guys with bows all around. Like this is going to be great. And it's like, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, there's like 10 of them. 2 of them fire, and then they just don't fire anymore, and they wait until the other guys pull out their guns. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you got to wait for all of us to do our epic grabbing our knives scene. It's like, your knives are not very good against guns. Do you know that?
Yeah. I think later they do have guns apparently as well. Like,
well, yeah,
some of them have guns, but not
the leader
there.
have a gun. He has a little gun kata fight with the mini boss man.
Yeah. So yeah, just give them all guns, or at least just kill them instantly. Just do that.
It's so
Because then they do
like,
their fight. Oh yeah, and he just takes out the arrow out of his arm, and that's never
he
mentioned
keeps
again.
walking toward like Big Boss Man. Big
Yeah.
Boss Man shoots like, and then he turns around and they get into like a close combat thing. It's like, why did you walk all the way up to him with your fucking gun, you idiot?
Because that's what we do in the John Wick universe. It's the code of honor.
I don't get it. Like when they're filming these things, they have to force them to do that. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Stupid suits. Everybody's bulletproof.
Yeah.
Except, by the way, their t-shirts. It's like, oh, you probably should have made those out of bulletproof flames, you idiots. Or
Well,
at least wear a fucking
it's
body.
it's funny because I went on a little rabbit hole online when I was doing some stuff for the John Wick 2 script, and there are suits like that exist, and apparently the vest, you should have a vest with it that is bulletproof as well. So they don't really have that. It's just the suits for some reason. So I don't know why they just didn't take inspiration from that more, I guess. But yeah, the shirts.
Bugs the hell out of me that all their heads are completely open and.
Oh yeah, no one shoots their heads when they have the suits.
No,
especially John.
Yeah.
John just doesn't get shot in the head.
God, all the holding up of the coattail of the suit over the face.
I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it.
That was getting to be a little much.
Everyone does it. Dude, when the sumos did it, I lost it.
Wait, did they get shot actually? I thought they didn't get shot.
Yeah. And their sumo
try.
dresses are all made of fucking bulletproof shit as well.
Oh, so okay, someone in the stream pointed it out and was like, no, I think the soldiers just walked into them without getting shot. But that does make it better. They should have just not walked up to them and just kept shooting. But yeah, those sumo guys are funny. I don't know what it is with them and sumo guys in the last two movies. It's kind of... Oh, no, where's the second and the fourth? Oh, whatever. But yeah, we have this whole action scene. And when this is done, they have like a little stalemate. And then, only then, they get in their reinforcements, which is soldiers, like in the third movie in the end, when they raid the Continental. Full plate armor, helmets, rifles, everything. So basically, they lost. But they don't, because then the movie would be over. So yeah, they have like full plate armor, rifles, and they're just going around and shooting shit up. And it's a really, really long action sequence. It's like 30 minutes long, including this part. And yeah, as I said, the Marquis guys are all over the place. They have the bulletproof suit, so they have to work around that. Because now we go up to the roof where John is and the daughter. And the daughter is, of course, also assassin lady. She takes off her robe and she has like this, I don't know, Black Widow suit on. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and then gets a trusty bow and arrow because she's a fucking moron.
Gets a trusty bow and arrow. And you see the soldiers from afar walking towards them. It's like, no, you have rifles. You could probably just put some scopes on there or something. Probably don't even need scopes. Just use your iron sights and start shooting from there. If they don't hit you the first time, you have lots of time to just retaliate immediately. But yeah, we have the big fight. I think John might be the only one up there who has a gun right now. I think everyone else just has bows and arrows and knives up there. And yeah, they just fight their way through. We have like all the staples of the John Wick fights in this one. People with guns running into John or the daughter. They're not shooting. People getting shot with arrows. Well, I like some of the takedowns that look kind of vicious when they just get. There's just something satisfying to see when in a movie when someone gets nailed into a wall, which obviously is not going to happen when they have a helmet, their skull, helmet again, and then the wall. Maybe.
No, that's how strong arrows are now.
Yeah. Maybe if I'm being very generous, maybe they hit the in-between part, the helmet and the suit or something. I don't know. But yeah, it looks cool, but it's yeah, again, pretty dumb. I remember one thing in particular again where John shoots someone a couple of times and he gets like goes like and he just is there just stunned for like 7 seconds, like and then he kills the other one. And then right when he's done with that, the other one is like, oh, it's my cue. And you see him starting getting his sidearm, and then he gets killed immediately. It's like, just at least
How it always goes.
At least hide them off
Oh.
screen or something. Like, there's some parts of these that are very, very obvious. But yeah, we do all this, and then they win, at least the two. Oh yeah, just pointing out, these guys have like full plate armors, full plate armor, but it's less effective than the suits because they get stunned when they get shot. But if you have a suit, you're fine.
Yeah, you'd think it would be the literal fucking reverse.
Yep.
That if you wear the suits, then you're not going to be able to stop the force of the bullets, but you'll look cool. And then those armor suits just make you like Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
But nope. That's the way he beats a lot of them. And the way they do it just kind of annoys me, is that it's like this solution to John would just kill everybody in one shot, and that's boring. How do we make it so it lasts longer? It's like, give everybody triple health bars. How do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Put them in armor or whatever. He's playing fucking professional mode, but he's got like infinite health, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So yeah, they do all these things. They fight some more in the lobby, and yeah, we already mentioned the sumo people. We have like 4 of those soldiers shooting at them. Apparently, not apparently, they do.
Pretty dumb.
And it doesn't work, so they keep walking into them, and then they lose. But yeah, we're now in the kitchen of the hotel, or one of the kitchens, whatever. You just see that Kane has just been chilling out, just having some ramen in the shadows.
Yep.
And the Marquis hench guy is like, do something, you're here to help us. And he's like, fine. And
which, by the way, he explicitly asks for his help, and then he annihilates everyone there. And then later on in the film, he says, "Why are we doing this with a blind man, dude?" I remember thinking to myself, like, you're the same fucker that forced him to kill everyone, and you watched him. So shut up.
Yeah, you should know he's doing very well. So yeah, that's the part we talked about earlier. Like, he puts up some sensor devices after he kills a couple of them. And they basically have like this little ring sound, goes like bing bong, and then he knows where to shoot. It's kind of neat. So they have to get a bit creative with this. That's kind of what was kind of neat.
Well, yeah, this is where. So when I was watching the film, I already felt dead inside, and then when his scene started, I was like, "Wait a minute, this is not complete cringe." Like, I liked how he starts it out. He just starts shooting randomly, and the goal, I think, is to just get them to shoot at him, and he listens out for the arrows and hears them fire and then dodges. I was like, this is already pretty good as a start. And then we see him like sitting, and he looks kind of bored. He's just like, all right, then, this is what I do every time. And then he just pops out. And a lot of his combat seems to be related to hearing them first, which was something that would have been tough to nail every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does a lot of playful things. He seems to he's trying to make this fun because he hates this job.
Yeah. Just Donnie Yen's performance in general is just always cool because he can do that shit.
He's really good, and he's earned his reputation on plenty of movies at this point.
Yeah, he was the one in Ip Man, right? Back in the day, that was Donnie Yen too, right? Yeah.
He's also in Blade 2.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's one of
people
Ron
in Blade 2.
Perlman's vampire hunter guys. In that they're hunters of Blade who are vampires.
A lot of people like Blade 2. It's a weird movie.
I like it.
Doesn't the guy have the mouth opening thing that kind of reminiscent of Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was Triple H in it as well.
No, that's Blade Trinity.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Triple H is Blade Trinity. Yeah, Guillermo del Toro directed Blade 2. It's the one with the Reaper vampires, which are the ones whose faces open up.
Yeah.
They're basically super vampires. They're vampires who feed on other vampires and turn them into crazy zombie things.
Yeah. There's one move, I don't know if you remember it, where fucking Donnie Yen legit does like a fucking Super Smash Brothers uppercut. where
Does he?
he spins his fist around, or like his wrist around, while he moves the uppercut from the top, swinging
Oh
it down
right,
and up.
yeah.
It genuinely looks like something out of Nintendo. It's just fun because he's clearly fucking around because he's dominating.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of fun I like, where it doesn't actually damage anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the movie starts to get me there. It's like, oh, I'm having fun, and then just you have sumo people beating people with rifles because they have bulletproof
They're
stuff. It's like,
fat. They have like 4 times health bars.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we had the double health bar in the second one. Remember that one? Where he shoots him in the head, and it's like, no, I'm
That's where the
actually
meme started.
yeah.
Fat people have 2 health bars. Yeah.
2 health bars. Uh, that's a bit too much suspension of disbelief for me. Just get me there almost, and it's like, nope. Now he's gonna jump out of a window.
Well, yeah, we go back to John and Girl doing their stupid fight choreography because it's the same shit they've been doing since.
Yeah.
Like John Wick 1 would have started it, and the first time you see this stuff is kind of cool. But then you just see it over and 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 over, and it's just like, God, everyone fights the same fucking way, don't they?
It doesn't help that there's like a million people around them. It's like so busy everywhere.
Something that made me cringe. I'll try and show it to you. I don't know, it's up to you if you want to show the audience or not, but I can just describe it anyway. There we go. You see the way she's holding this girl? She's about to fire that pistol. You see where her arm is? Fucking idiot. You're about to blow your own arm off.
Oh, yeah. So the arm is aligned with the gun where it would shoot. I don't think I have anything going on here. Let me see if I can. Where did my OBS go? Oh, there it is. I can grab it here real quick. Oh wait, no, hang on, no, I can't do the fucking Discord. Never mind. So yeah, it's aligned with her arm, so she would shoot her own arm off basically. You can imagine what that kind of looks like.
It's obviously because there's no actual bullets coming out of any of these guns, naturally. I'm not saying they should be, I'm just saying that that's why this stuff happens.
Yeah. But yeah, they fight. The daughter gets like shot in the side of the stomach or something, I think, and is out of commission for here. And Koji is here too. He got shot, but we don't see that yet. But he's like, "Oh, John, go out where you came in, and then kill a lot of people of them for me." I was like, oh, "Okay, I'll do." And then we get a really, really long John Wick solo fight against the world scene. It's like all the things you would imagine. I mean, it's the thing. If you like this stuff, you're gonna love this movie. I mean, it's just it's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, so just a quick thing of like
Yeah.
how much they've destroyed John Wick as a talent is there's this huge room filled with loads of openings, all these glass windows. It's a John Wick room. You know what they are. And he just fucking runs in. It's like, what are you doing, you fool? You have no idea where's safety. He just starts running, and everyone's shooting at him. It doesn't matter because it all just fucking hits his shit anyway. It sucks. I wish I could watch someone who's talented instead of someone who's lucky.
Yeah. Because just remember, like, in one where he just is really careful. Like, the house scene is just still fucking awesome. Because
I love the house scene, yeah. That's like one of the best John Wick scenes there are, and it's like the first one.
Yeah.
First fight scene, yeah.
Because he knows the house, he hears them, he makes everything dark, he shoots through walls sometimes. He separates the people, gets them one by one. It's like, good shit. And I was like, get all here to me. Go here, I'm gonna beat you up with nunchucks. It's funny because I wonder if the movies would have started that way. Because we started in a pretty realistic way with the first one. I mean, there's still like the normal action hero kind of dealio, right? With some of the action hero health bar, I would say. And yeah, but here you just have so many people walking towards him, and it's just, I don't know. The way we started this and the way where we are is just, I don't know, it just feels like a different kind of character like a superhero character almost.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I think he's been a superhero since John Wick 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they fucked it up. And
Yeah.
it's like why are we being so nitpicky? Well, we do nitpicking and neat picking. We'll point out the cool small things if we find fucking any of them.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I got my Dragon's Breath shotgun defense ready to go.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so annoying, like how retarded every fucking person is in these scenes. They just either run at him and don't fire, or they just miss, and then fall over.
Yeah.
Even though they're in better armor than him.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't impressive to me. This is just the same shit they've been doing since the first movie. They're just on repeat.
Because they could easily do the same scenes, but just clean it up a bit so it doesn't look like he can get shot like every scene I see him in.
Or just also try and expand the choreography beyond the way they do it every single time. Why can't you have him plan something out?
Yeah, that would be neat.
He's always reacting. It's never
Yeah.
something that he organizes.
Yeah, and he kind of does that in the second one, but that plan is shit.
Well, it's the disadvantage to having him be on the run for 3 movies.
Nope.
now.
You can have him plan out shit tons while he's on the run.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he wasn't the
In
hobo.
fact, it should have been, this whole place should have been good to go. If he's been hiding here this whole time, he and the guy, they should have had like all kinds of things set up to prepare for this.
Yeah, well, also,
But no, it just
neat,
seems to be
maybe-
random,
maybe
and they hope to do the best they can.
Or maybe start with him and the Hobo King, maybe having the talks like, hey, what you gonna do next? Maybe just catch up the audience. It's like, hey, it's been X amount of time, I'm doing good. Because the injuries he had after 3, that's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he would have been chilling there for a year or something. But that's probably not it. But yeah.
Man, this like... He's sometimes they make him as stupid as the enemy, but the one thing this film and a bunch of others, well, John Wick 2 and 3 suffer from is characters don't exist until they're on the screen. So like, he's just running straight forward, and then from the right of the screen, some guy just comes on the screen and grabs him, and it's just like, wait, did John not see that guy? Did that guy not exist until he was on the frame? Like, what? And whenever it's a big burly guy, it is legitimate, like, they're not normal humans. They can't be killed in one shot to the head.
that is really tough. They do make it seem like when a person reaches a certain amount of size, like, conventional weapons have no effect on them.
And yeah, man, when John starts beating everyone up with the nunchucks when they have guns and they keep trying to, like, come at him so close with the guns that he can hit them out of their hands, it's just like, ugh. They really wanted to make the nunchucks happen in this scene as well, didn't they?
Watch Shad's videos. They're just like, I like nunchucks. Hello?
I was expecting Mel. He's gone for a pee.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, I was like, I didn't really have anything else to add on the nunchuck thing. I guess to contextualize what I meant by they watch one of Shad's videos is Shadiversity, our friend, hates nunchucks.
He does, which made it really hard for him to view this film, probably.
Yeah, that probably pulled him out of it right quick.
Well, it's just because you gotta like John Wick. Everyone likes John Wick, and it's like, yeah, but nunchucks.
I almost thought that Shad would be okay with this implementation, like to a certain extent, just because it was a weapon of opportunity, not a weapon that someone chose to bring into that battle. Because isn't his whole point
no,
that
he focuses on the nunchucks. He's decided to commit to them pretty hardcore in the scene. He doesn't need to.
Oh yeah, he puts
Yeah,
them
I
around
guess
his
that's
He
around
keeps
his
not
neck.
picking up the guns that are going to the floor. This is another problem he has throughout the whole movie. It's like a video game where they don't count as guns or something.
Mhm.
ID tag to you need a sample of your own DNA in order to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I remember like someone just highlights like the pencil. It's like, yeah, he didn't need a pencil. He can kill people with his fucking fists, but they do it for the meme.
Yeah, pencil is a meme now. That's true.
Donnie Yen did it with a pencil too.
Lamau. So yeah. Oh yeah. When he fights his way through every one of these people, it's like kind of flip flops between now we have a wave of soldiers and now we have a wave of Marquis people. It's like 2 waves each or something. Until Kane.
By the way, he grabs a rifle off somebody, and it's like, if these guys had straps, he'd just be fucked.
Oh yeah, he would have to move the body to pick it up. So
Yeah,
if he's unlucky. So yeah, we have the Kane and John have a little bit of fight, and there's another one where they're being a bit creative because John just starts to try not making any sounds. Like they just shoot at each other through some glass panels, and then there's just like silence, and John just kind of in there in suspension and just doesn't want to make any sound because hey, the guy is blind, you know? And then he even is like, "Are you dead, John?" Which is kind of funny. And then he sees a gun, wants to go and grab it, but then of course glass goes like, and it's like, there you are, and yeah. But before they can finish the fight, we got nobody who saves John's ass basically because he's about to get killed. I'm pretty sure. And yeah. And that's basically where the Japan section is almost over. At least the John scenes, because he's just about to leave. And we see that Kane and Koji have to have a katana fight now, which is a pretty good choreography as well. I like that one. Mm-hmm. I feel like the one-on-one fights are almost basically much better every time.
That tends to be the way things go.
Yeah,
it is a lot easier to
everybody just
choreograph
loses all brain cells, basically.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a very short Scrabble because Koji is already I want to say damaged, hurt. He's already damaged. And they go like pling, 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 pling with the katanas, and it's really fast. And it's like, ooh, that's fun. And then he gets stabbed pretty quickly and dies. It's like, oh, damn it, I want to see more of that. And then Dora's like, fuck you, Kane. I'm going to get you in John Wick Revelations Part 2. I don't know. Well, I guess I can't call it John Wick if he's not.
Rise of the John Wick.
A John Wick story or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, and I think after this, the bounty gets up to 20 million, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was somewhere in here. The bounty gets, like, randomly upped in between and then just gets up further and further in the last action piece. But yeah, we have, like, Kane... we have the daughter and John in, like, a train station. It's like, you go and get them, John, or something. I forgot what they said, to be honest. It might be a little setup. I think you mentioned it earlier, MauLer, right? It was like, get him for me or something. No, wait, that was with Kane. I'm just all confused. But anyway.
Mr. Nobody guy, why didn't he kill Kane?
I don't know. Doesn't want to
I can't think of a way to answer that.
Maybe he doesn't want to get in trouble with the Marquis ?
How are they going to know?
I don't know. That's the best I couldn't get up with. He just kind of not shoots him, just makes enough space for John.
I think it's clear enough to say that he's deliberately missing over and over again.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure anyway. It's kind of hard to tell. The point being, of course, he doesn't want John to die, but he will... I don't see why he wouldn't want Kane to die. Kane's only going to be in the way.
Mm-hmm. Maybe because he's a tracker, he knows he works with the Marquis, and then he doesn't want to get in trouble because then he doesn't get his deal or something. That's all I can think of. But
unless he just missed.
Unless he just missed, that would be it could be. But anyway, we're done with Japan. We're back in New York now. We cut here, so that worked.
Yeah.
And we get a scene. We get an edgy Marquis scene with the tracker guy. And Donnie Yen is like, better don't act up. He's gonna do something. He's like, whatever. You're gonna be fine. So yeah, basically everyone is back in New York now. Kane, the tracker, nobody. John is here. It's not in the same scene, but they're all back in somewhere. They're somewhere. Who cares? So he basically tries to barter with the Marquis guy, until the Marquis is like, you're annoying. And then he stabs his hand into something. And I was like, oh, okay. And he tells him that, if you pick it, if you just take it out, you're committed to yourself. But if you rip it off, you're committed to the cause.
Yeah.
And then he rips his hand in very graphic visualization off, and I just don't know what's going on.
His hand's out of commission for the next.
Oh, that too.
Absolutely, but they pretend like that's not a thing. The thing about it to me is just, what a fucking crazy thing you just did. Like, what if this guy just fucking shot you? And you could be like, well, his bodyguard goes to get his gun out. It's like, yeah? Who's to say you would have gotten to him in time?
Yeah.
What a crazy fucking move, where you just, like, your brand new potential hitman, you're gonna stab him in the hand and hope he quickly interprets that as you testing him. Which is pretty fucking stupid, by the way. Yeah. I hope you work for me in proof by doing this. Also, his reaction time was fucking terrible, if you watch it. Like, he slams his hand down, which human beings are very much capable of pulling their hands away from a person who's holding their hand. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that. But he just sort of lets it happen. And then it's like, yes, now you will work for me. Now you will kill John Wick. Sorry about your hand. Like, one of the most important fucking things you need to kill John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of shit I hate in these films. Like, this, they don't think this through at all.
Yep.
But they think it's cool.
Yeah, the Marquis guy is just like, I'm French, oogly boogly, or something. I don't know. He's just edgy. He's really just the edgy evil guy who's like, I get what I want. They have like this weird thing that his father says, if you do anything like you do everything or something. I'm not even exactly sure what that means. I don't know if someone remembers, but yeah. And then, yeah, that scene is done. I think Donnie Yen is like, I told you not to act up or something. Or maybe that's later. But he's just doing fun stuff. I just want to see more of Donnie Yen. He's funny.
Yeah.
And Winston is like in front of the broken Continental. It's like, oh, that sucks. And then the hobo king comes around. Yo, what up? You need some help? And then he says a thing that made me chuckle. It's like, we homeless folk have to stick together after all. It's like, oh, that's funny. I chuckled at that.
He is the king of the hobos, so he's now king of Winston.
He is automatically now a hobo assassin. He's gonna get his peasant clothes and can go do some information hunting or something. But yeah, and
then you get the Winston Wick scene where he basically just tells him, by the way, all the rules you thought worked a particular way, they don't.
They don't.
I hate it so much. Every single fucking film.
Yeah. Because they meet up at Sharon's, Sharon's, I always forget how to say his name, gravesite. So yeah, John is just like, hey, I'm gonna kill them all though. And it's like, yeah, you can't, you're gonna run out of bullets before they run out of heads, basically. So, I don't know, whatever. And he's like, well, what else am I gonna do? And then as you said, it's like, oh yeah, those rules where you said you have nothing to do. You could try a duel in one mano-a-mano combat with the Marquis guy. And John is like,
bro, that's a myth. That's not real.
This whole time I only had to kill one guy.
Yeah, all this effort.
I'm really good at killing people. You should have just told me that like 3 movies ago.
The only reason that he can't do it is because he's not a part of a family.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, so does that mean in John Wick 2 when he said blah 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 blood debts, he could have been like, don't do this or I will fucking duel you?
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't think about that. That's just another point on the marker that could be contested.
Well, it doesn't matter because Winston would have been like, duel him, and then Wick would have been like, there's a fucking myth. Can't do myths. Why don't you know anything about your own goddamn organization you're supposed to be the most threatening member of?
Yeah. But yeah, he now needs to be a part of a family. And if you remember, he was part of the Ruska Roma. So obviously we go to Berlin to meet them, which
Good
I
God,
found
can
confusing.
we skip this part?
Yeah.
Really? Like, they fucking actually capture John Wick because they surprise shoot him with a shotgun. And I was just like, what is with the plot armor, man? Like, that was just plot poison where he just, this film is like, you get caught now. And John Wick's like, what? And it's like, yes, you get, it's like cutscenes in Resident Evil.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets blasted across the. He goes like into a little cathedral, and just gets blasted across it with like a double-barreled shotgun.
Yep.
But don't worry, guys. He got his suit up, so he's fine. He's just knocked out, I guess. And yeah, basically they put them on a thing you get hanged with. What are they called?
A noose?
The thing it's on, the noose is on, like a gallows. Is it gallows? Is that what I was thinking of? Would you call that a gallows?
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure if that's considered a gallows as
Yeah,
opposed
that's
to
what I
like
was
a
thinking.
crane, but
Yeah, so it's
yeah, I know what you
basically-
mean.
It's a noose with a crane, and they can go it up and put it up, and they make it higher very slowly, so they can shit talk him. Basically, it's like, because you capped that elder guy, they killed Piotr. Who's Piotr? I don't know. He was the boss before her, I guess.
Just want to highlight. Sort of chat that I don't even like John Wick, but I'll listen to Metal MauLer and John read the phone book. No, that's Mark.
I'm the other Canadian gaming guy, I guess. Who isn't Dev?
It's the Triple M podcast today, okay? Come on.
It's okay though. Hello, I'm Mark.
Hey, what's up? I thought you were John this whole time. Get out.
Sorry.
I would
about
say,
that.
by the way, this is where we got the most video gamey. It's like, how do I escape the problems of all the movies I've gotten up to this point?
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to do X. How do I do X? Well, you're going to have to do Y, in this case,
Yeah.
steal the family bond. How do I do Y? It's like, well, you're going to have to go and kill a different boss. He's a raid boss.
Yep.
He's special. He's got a big purple suit and he's fat. He's different.
He's funny.
Did you like I Am Klaus?
I don't know why that happened. I was like, what? Why?
Because that's what these movies are.
I am Klaus. And the way he talked, he was probably actually German.
There was a couple behind me who was loving that. Every single time they were laughing.
Literally Hodor. He just says I Am Klaus. That's all he
I am
says.
Klaus.
I was gonna say it again.
It's
and
so,
I'm
it
just
was
like, oh
so
my God.
random. This is where I was like, is this like, it's just comedy? Should I just not take this seriously anymore? It's like, it's so random.
I feel like the people who made John Wick 4 need to watch John Wick 1 because they'll be surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, he has to mend the crisis, like the beef with the Ruska Roma, so he can get back. But yeah, as he said, fortunately they have a quest for him to do. And he's like, then we have a common enemy, so they have to go kill Killer Harkan, who's the big chunky guy, and yeah, Klaus is gonna get him there, but he also punches him in the face twice, and I don't know why. I guess the idea is like, oh, we took him hostage, that's why.
I think he was supposed to be knocking him out, so he punches him once, and then it just didn't knock him out.
I think it's just.
I think it was a joke that didn't land properly.
Oh, I thought it was just to be like, yo, here we beat him up when we took him in, so it's not looks less suspicious, I guess.
Oh, really? Yeah,
That's
wasn't
what I
really
thought.
Understanding that, I thought that like Klaus was just that was what he does. He knocks people out and then transports them places. But honestly, the blunt force trauma to knock someone out, super bad for you. By the way,
No, concussion's
most
unreal.
people die.
It's fine. It's movies.
Right. So yeah, they get him here. So now it's like, hey, go kill him and bring proof. And I was like, oh, is he gonna decapitate him? It's not happening. That's not happening, but that's fine. So yeah, he gets him there, and it's in the club Himmel und Hölle, or as they call it, Himmel and Hölle, which I found funny as a German. So I also don't know why this Russian faction is chilling in Berlin. I don't know. I just found it weird. And don't they also have like a thing in New York? That's where he went to get his ticket torn in the third one. I don't know. Whatever. They wanted to go to Berlin. That's why they did it probably.
And then they made a fat suit.
They made a fat suit. Yeah. He gets taken straight to Killer Harkan, pretending that they captured him. He's like, here you go. He's like, oh, thank you. Go look forward to our future endeavors or whatever. And also nobody is here because he's been tracking him. And the Marquis is like, well, thanks for getting him, and now you get him. He's like, well, that's not part of the deal. It's like, well, the deal was for your services, and your service now includes killing John, so do that. So he does it, because yeah. And Kane is also here because he's a friend of John, and he figured he might go here. So yeah, that's how we get all 3 of them here.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, and then we have this card game, which I don't even know what I feel about that. I feel it's just like kind of there. What do you guys think about the card scene?
It is very useless.
I think
I
it
don't
looked
know. What am I?
it looked cool visually, I guess, but I don't know what to make of that. It just leads to fighting again.
Well, there's nothing in terms of skill being done by anybody. It just seems to be like, what do you have? I have this. Okay. I have this. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have
like,
the best this.
I'm gonna change these cards out and these cards, and it just doesn't matter because he says, "Oh, I'm gonna cheat anyway," so you go to die. It's like, oh, okay.
I guess it's like they're each the best for different reasons, and Scott Adkins' character's the best because he cheats. Like because they each had really, really good hands. Hands that you would never see in the same game.
Yeah, one of them was a royal flush, and the other one had like didn't John have like 4 2s, I think, or something? I don't know.
I think one of them had 4 of the kind, one had full house, and then Scott Adkins had 5 of one card.
Yeah. I just like Donnie Yen again. He's like, oh, let me guess, 5 of a kind, or he says, I'm gonna look at my cards. I was like, can we just have a movie with him? I think he's fun.
He is fun.
We also had
now remember, your daughter will fuck off.
yeah, fuck off.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
But yeah, that card game. I think people like this. I think it's nice visually, but I don't really get anything out of it. I just don't know. I think we just go straight to fighting, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, John slices Killer Harkan with one of the cards and then throws one of the cards into someone's eye. And stuns
It's pretty crazy and absurd, and I think a card cut like that, it would be so surface level, Killer Harkan wouldn't fucking care.
Yeah. And what a throw. I mean, I think that's theoretically you could probably make that happen if you exactly hit the eye in the right angle. I guess that's just rule of cool here. It's fine. I was just like, oh shit, that happened. All right. But John can just do all these things, as we know. And then yeah, he gets gets shot in his ass. He has like 3 health bars, by the way. Killer Harkan has like 3 health bars because he has a fat suit on.
I think it's more than that. Yeah.
He has like at least 3 health bars. And then we get our staple club fight where people get killed all around and all the club goers are like, woohoo, music!
He gets shot in the ass, by the way. Shit. Like, as he's escaping the first room, John shoots him in the ass.
Yeah.
Does that, like, have any effect?
Not on him, but I guess in real life, Mark, you probably know something about that. What if you get shot in the ass?
No, he's not walking. No chance.
But what if we have multiple health bars?
Oh, okay, yeah, then he should be fine.
Oh, and you missed a pretty good highlight, actually, which would be Donnie Yen tossing a flash grenade. It goes off, and he's just like, huh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's fun. He's the best part of the movie.
He really is. I got to appreciate it more when I was doing the prep. It was like, oh, you're fun. I want more of you. You're cool.
And yeah, the disco, whatever the fuck club thing. What an absurd scene.
It's like a waterfall in the middle.
It is one of the best things in terms of like it's just about how it looks. It has nothing to do with story.
I actually meant to check if that's a real club in Berlin. Berlin has some weird shit. Club Berlin. Oh yeah, that seems to be.
Christ. It's just like the second one where he kills everybody in front of these dancers and they just don't care.
Yeah, the one thing
painful.
At least he doesn't shoot people in the head when there's like people behind him. That should probably fuck them up as well with the pistols he has. They at least kept it like melee, at least. But yeah, they just don't give a shit. I think I saw some people in the background just look at it and go like, "Oh, that's a thing." Anyway, back to dancing, which is double weird because when the scene ends, you see them all running out of the club like they cared all of a sudden, and I was like, "Huh? I don't know. Do they care or do they not care? I don't understand."
I was actually really happy to see the It made me certain it was a fat suit at that point, but it was fun that the big fat guy was like fucking John up.
Oh yeah, John got in trouble. Like he got beat up hard 2 times by him. He moves so
Well,
quickly.
he
He reminded
probably
me.
should have died when he tossed him off the thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is
But
this is
that's John for you.
the guy remind me of one of that. I don't know if it's a Street Fighter or Tekken character. The fat guy that moves really fast, like a chunky man. Mark, do you know by any chance? He does like a bit of dancing moves or something.
The
Raicho from Mortal Kombat.
No.
He has Drunken Fist.
wait,
Bob? Is it Bob as well? Oh, okay.
Bob from Tekken?
Is it Tekken? Okay, I didn't remember where he was from. Bob
Well, there's also
Tekken.
Rufus from
Yeah,
Street Fighter 4. He's another chunker dude.
He does a roundhouse kick, right? And then
Rufus? Or no, sorry.
no, in the movie, and John falls about 3 meters onto literally a big steel pole on his spine.
Yeah, it's like a
He's just
lamp
dead
or
as
something.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, he crashes. Like it's basically a fall like in John Wick 3 at the end, but not quite as high. But he still crashes onto something hard.
Yeah,
and
they'll
then on
do the
floor.
other half of that fall later. Don't worry.
They do. I couldn't believe that one. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, to be fair, he's at least out for like 10 seconds. Like, oh, that sucked. But now he has to fight.
Yeah,
like,
nobody attacks him during all of that until he's recharged.
yeah, they have to run down there. It's slippery. They need to be careful. It's all
I
this
want to see him
water.
die at this point, just to know it's possible.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, then he gets attacked by more people. For some reason, they use axes.
Yep, none of them have guns.
They all
'cause
have axes.
They would have killed him if they had guns.
At least they made a scenario where they had to do melee fights. I don't know why they wouldn't have guns though, but still. I prefer if they just make some bullshit up that they just use axes instead of guns so we can have the fight in melee, but whatever. But then we still have the thing, we're gonna have 2 at a time at most, and then 1 at a time. And then I do this, and then that one, then the next one, and so on. Until Harkan comes back down, and he beats up him and is like, you're unlucky in life, and love, and death, too. And then...
Okay.
Yeah. What does he do? How did he get the upper hand? I forgot. I think he just goes ham. He's like, no, fuck you, and then he beats him up a bit.
He goes to punch him, and John dodges so that Harkin punches the wall instead, and then he pokes his wound.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
right,
gets,
that was
like-
the one. And then he just beats his face in like 7 times, but then there's more goons coming up, and that's not, his health bar is not quite done yet. He runs away, and then he beats up some more, and then Harkan stays still at a staircase, like, why won't you just die? And it's like, I was like in the cinema thinking, I don't know, he should. And then
Neither of you died, so...
yeah, and then he tackles him, and he just falls off the staircase straight onto his neck and dies. It looks kind of weird, like they animated it really weirdly. It looks like out of sync, like it looks too fast or something. It looked a bit flumpy. I remember it looking a bit flumpy.
Yeah, there were a couple weird visual things at certain points in this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, now John is all wet, beat everyone up, and then he punches his face a couple of more times and takes one of the gold teeth as proof that he killed him.
Yeah, because you can't get teeth out.
With
the,
only they probably just
dead.
would have heard about it on fucking Facebook before he got back to them.
It's like, yeah, it was on World Star Hip Hop and saw John killed that guy. So.
I love the idea that they're like, we need proof. It's like, this be all over the fucking news.
Yeah.
What have you done? Like, all these people are terrified.
I'll put a tweet out or something. I don't know.
The scene had gorgeous photography. All right.
I mean, it looked nice.
Indeed it did.
I mean, that's something that John Wick movies do pretty nicely. I always like them visually quite a lot. They have pretty cool visuals.
Yep.
I do like those. Where were we? I think it just goes to the thing. Oh, this is where Kane says that he gave the eyesight.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's like, why didn't you kill this stranger guy? And he's like, oh.
Yeah, because nobody is
This is
about
the guy...
to shoot John, and Kane is
Well,
like,
as far as Donnie
no.
Yen knows, this guy nearly killed him earlier.
That's true, yeah.
So I just don't get it. Why does nobody kill each other when they're main characters? It's really annoying.
Yeah, they could have had a little scuffle and then scattered or something, maybe. I don't know. But it's just like, don't do that. And I was like, okay. Maybe he considers him a colleague now because he works for the Marquis, kinda. Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, now John goes back to the Ruska aroma and it's like, here's the teeth. And he's like, yay. And it's like, that could, yeah, okay, cool. And
Does
then,
she have to burn her arm every time someone joins the family?
that's what I was thinking. I also was thinking, does John already have one of these scars? And I forgot about it because he was part of the family before, right?
Or is this only in the case of re-sealing or reforging?
Maybe. I don't know, but I was thinking the same thing, and I have no answer for you.
All right.
Because, yeah, for people who haven't seen it, they get a big old crucible, put some molten stuff in it, I don't know what, and then they have to brand their arms with stuff as proof that he's in the family, I guess, or back in the family, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we also learn that he needs someone to deliver the challenge to the Marquis, and he chooses Winston because common enemies or something. Something I was thinking here is like, but does it not matter that he's excommunicado, like both of them?
I don't know.
It's just...
Well, the third film's ending was about how he had betrayed John, quote unquote, in
Yeah.
order to satisfy the table. And then they're just like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have heard that you are friends with John.
Yeah, we blow up the
So,
hotel. It's
so
like,
it doesn't matter.
oh, okay.
We're blowing up your building.
I mean, that whole ending is just pointless now, because like him and Winston are as friendly as ever, and the damage is all healed, and the table still hate Winston. So it's like, so we achieved nothing.
Yes.
Sweet.
Sweet. Well, yeah, he just goes to the Marquis, who I think is in the Louvre. How do you say it actually?
Louvre.
Louvre.
I believe it is the Louvre, yes.
And yeah, and we have like this 10-second shot of him walking across the room, and you see all those pictures. It looks kind of nice. And oh yeah, he's like, hey, we have this thing, and Marquis like, what are you doing here? You want to get shot or something? And I was like, yeah, I don't know why he didn't. Yeah, and he's basically like, hey, he's gonna challenge you to a duel, and he's like, no, he isn't. He's not even in a family. It's like, well, he meant his family bond, so now he has the Ruska Roma, did the thing. It's written history now.
So, how are the Ruska Roma not in trouble with the high table now?
I don't know. That's a good
When
question.
they have, in order to reseal it, he needs to get his arm burnt, which means he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't they under obligation to not serve him because he's excommunicated? I don't fucking know.
Well, they just took that risk because they don't like him because they shot their old boss. So now they do it. It's funny because I feel like the table will probably still go against him because nothing in his demands say that they're going to be saved. So they're probably fucked one way or another.
Yeah,
considering
that's
how
actually true.
considering how fickle the table is with everything.
Well, Winston just tosses in a bunch of shit that he wants into the terms.
Yeah. He's like, oh, John wants his freedom, blah blah blah. Oh, by the
Just
way,
play for laughs, but like, we could demand more things, I guess. Help more people.
Pay for my
I don't know.
hotel.
yeah,
Yeah, at your expense, I thought was almost an unnecessary line at that point. It's like, well, yeah, if you're saying you'll rebuild my hotel, I'm assuming they're not going to then send you the bill if they're making this kind of deal for it, right?
yeah. I mean, he says like it's on the table's expense. Like he's going to be reinstated once the hotel rebuilt, and yeah, all on the table's expense. Just like, yeah, okay. And basically, the idea is like, oh yeah, but why? because the Marquis guy obviously says, why would I do that? That's stupid. Like, I have all these resources. And it's like, oh, well, because if you actually do that, you're gonna be real cool boy for the table, because the Marquis are always remembered of their success or their failures. So if you pull this off, they're gonna like you really, really good. And he's like,
Maybe the high table will finally run out of money. It's like, no.
no.
The high table has to
dude,
move in with Lawrence Fishburne.
that burn that John gave himself, that's the kind of shit you need like treatment for.
Yep.
No, they poured vodka on it.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't work.
Probably hurts more. Well, not probably, it does hurt.
Yeah, like I can't try to start expecting medical things to be treated with any degree
Then
of
why the
respect.
fuck should I
in the-
care when anyone lives or dies in these stupid movies?
Hey, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that it's just so many movies are so bad at it. It's really hard to ever even think, hey, maybe you should stop the burning process immediately because this thing's getting severely worse
Yep.
every split second you take. And yeah. So I mean, I guess long story short, the vodka wouldn't necessarily have been the totally wrong thing to do,
Mhm.
but they took their time, and that would be an excruciating amount of pain to be in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Also, you're not using either of those arms for like a while.
if John has like all this resolve, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's like the only explanation they always have. It's like, oh, he has the suit, and also he's a being of resolve and willpower. It's like, okay,
Okay.
I guess now your bones don't break anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, Marquis accepts and then also tells Winston, well, just remember, you either stand with the champion or get buried beside him. He's like, okay. And, well, now they have to do the rules. And they meet at a plateau at the Eiffel Tower, I think, was it? I think that's exactly what it's called. I don't know. And, yeah,
it's across from it.
it's like a little game they have to play. So the challenger gets to choose.
Absolutely insane that we have a whole like fucking 40-minute stretch of insanity, and it's all because Evilman drew a higher number than John when he said, "Let's start right now."
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
John is because time, and just like now.
And also, who the fuck? Like, it's like, oh, the whole point of this is I duel you. Okay, it's like, cool. Okay, sure. I'm gonna have a champion. It's like, no, I duel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to duel you. It's like, okay, my champion is gonna
That
do
would
it.
have been
Oh.
yeah, that would have been the thing to make clear to John earlier on in the movie.
Well, it makes John look like an idiot. It makes Winston look like an idiot. I hate these stupid rules.
Yeah, because they also have to play. Yeah, as I said, play this little game. It's like, oh, I have the number, which they get randomly. I don't know who set this up, so they just put this in. I guess the old man with the finger, without one of the fingers, did it. I don't know.
Out of curiosity, if John had just nominated fucking, I don't know, Clancy Brown, just said like, you will be my.
Yeah.
It's like, can you just do that? Because Donnie Yen at first says, I'm not doing that shit for you, until of course he does, and I'm just like, do you have the power to refuse? I don't know.
Yeah, because he just says it, and then after it's like, I'm not gonna do it. By the way, like, why did you say that?
It could probably pretty easily solve that as an issue by saying if you can't have a champion because your champion would be Winston if it's anyone because he's your second.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be the way to solve.
You don't need to
John's
do
thing.
that, because you just be like, John would probably nominate himself anyway because he's the best fighter.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so the rules are basically time, location, and weapons. And one of the rules is like no forgiveness or something, no quarters, I think it was. Yeah. Oh, I should just read my notes because the next sentence says what it is. So it's at sunrise at the Au Sacré-Cœur, French noises, with dueling pistols and no quarters. I found it kind of interesting because the the Marquis guy is like, I want to use swords. And just like pistols. Oh yeah, and the rule is if you don't arrive in time, it's called a forfeit and you will be executed. And I was like, oh, so what if John just runs away again? I can't make it in time. Guess it's like no downside for John at all. He's already completely forfeit.
He does a new duel, and then
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
All these rules seem very abusable as long as you're in one of these families, I guess.
I just can't believe, like, Excommunicado was supposed to be this huge deal, and then the third film is all about how, yeah, there's just no way of getting out of this. You can try, but you just can't. And then this film's like, you can. Yeah. Anyway, bye.
But it's a myth. Like, no, it's not. Oh, okay.
You don't have a family? Yeah, I did. I killed a big chungus.
A big chungus. So yeah, now the rules are set. The time is here, and so they scatter into the winds for now. And yeah, John goes to church and has a little prayer for his wife, even though he's like, I don't think it's real, but maybe I'm wrong, so I just want to say hello.
That shit was hilarious. It was like, remember his wife? We haven't talked about that in fucking ages.
They always do this like for a minute in the movie. It's like, oh, I'm sad about my wife. Anyway, let's kill more people.
Yeah.
Just reminding us that that's a thing. And then we have like a little conversation between John and Kane because we have to establish more. It's like, hey, we're actually really close friends, you know? Because it's nice to talk to a friend. It's like, yeah, we did the thing, and but yeah, now we have to fight. Yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't really give me anything because I don't know about anything about their relationship besides their friends. Same with Koji.
Yep.
Then the guy with the hourglass from earlier in the movie tells the Marquis that he's insane, and that if you lose, you'll fuck up the standing of the table.
Yeah, and then the Marquis like hardcore cheats and does something that should never be fucking okay.
Yep, and then he says like, oh yeah, but it's also gonna be really cool for me if I do win. And yeah, as I said, he just says like, well, maybe he's not even gonna make it there, and basically the bounty is still up, of course. It's at 20 million. I think he puts it up to 21, 27 millions or something. And it's so dumb because they make this big deal. It's like, oh shit, so much money. Let's mobilize everyone. It's like the same like in the second movie when everyone is like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go after John Wick.
Yeah, they do the little montage, and when they start playing Paint It Black, I wanted to die. How can you be so generic? You're making me... I love that song, and these movies are making me hate it.
Absolutely.
So it goes... I'm just like, no, play something else, please.
There was a French version of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Westworld did a remix. This did a remix. Like,
oh yeah,
because Painted Black is just so fucking approved of.
Yeah.
Leave Painted Black alone, and Bohemian Rhapsody, and several others.
Yeah.
I just got back for the tail end of that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Painted Black is way overused now.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, this has the exact same problem as John Wick 2, where it's like, hey, World of Assassins, yes? Would you like to make $20 bazillion? You're like, yeah, I would. Who have I got to kill? John Wick. And then all of them go, no.
John Wick,
And why? It's like, oh, he's just the most famous man in the world for killing people. He's the best assassin ever. And we've already had thousands of people try to kill him that all died. I'm not going to do that.
That's kind of my headcanon, by the way. That at some point it just stops, like, oh, we just can't kill him. Just up the money or we're not going to do it.
I mean, I think upping the money is the thing that, especially in this movie, I was getting a lot of dissonance with when they're like, now it's going to be $40 million. I'm like, what will you do for $40 million that you won't do for 20?
Yeah.
Like, how much are these people pulling in where it's like $20, fucking chump change? God, 40? What?
I was talking to Frank about it. I was saying, what you need is a scene where, like, do a cameo. Could be like Bruce Willis, for example. And he's just sitting on his sofa, and he gets a call, and he sees the thing, and he just goes, no. John Wick,
would
no.
be amazing.
Like just someone give me a sense that someone has a brain in this universe. Everyone is just like, oh, jeez, I'm gonna be the one that kills John Wick. Oh, me. It's like, have you guys? I know we're watching the movies, so we get to see it all very well. But I'm pretty sure it's made the news at this point. Local man has killed thousands of people.
Yeah.
The dude from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from the first one, Theon's father. That was his deal. He was like, John Wick? Oh, are you out of your mind? No, we don't want to be anywhere near John Wick.
I miss
the first film
so much. I miss it.
Yeah. I just love
He once killed a man with a pencil.
It's so good. I just love the fact that he is like,
pencil.
oh shit, John Wick. Okay, come on, let me give him a call. Like we go back. Maybe it's like cool. It's like, hey John, sorry about your wife. So
yeah, don't undersell that moment though. The whole like, what you fucking hit my son. Like what the hell's going on? Like he's so ready to rip off John Leguizamo's head. He's like, they stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And he just goes,
oh, and yeah, it's like, amazing. What an introduction to the character, because we don't know anything really about him yet.
They peaked with the first one for villains. They've never been able to beat him.
Yeah, it's so good.
That actor and the writing is it's a great combo.
Did
Did a really good job. He was kind of funny, but he was also like you could tell he was a fucking strained man who's just trying to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, what about Donnie Yen? It's like, Donnie Yen's a good guy. He's not a bad guy.
He's not supposed to be a bad guy. He's been sucked in again, if you will.
Though I will say, I like Donnie Yen more than John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Not a great
Kinda
sign,
better.
but it's okay.
Well, I mean, over the course of the movies, they've sort of turned John Wick into just Keanu Reeves badass, because he hardly says anything anymore. He kind of just goes, yeah.
Well, the first one he had a character. He doesn't really have one. The rest of them, he just killed. He's too angry to die, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, are we at the point now where there's an action? So he needs to get to the place on time, and he decides to just go the most fucking blatantly public way possible.
Yeah, that too. But before that, we get like a scene with the Hobo King. I just want to point out, he's still around, and he's like, here's another suit, by the way. Also, here's a weapon that has 21 rounds and has fangs or something. I think he stabs people with it after he takes something of the gun off. I don't know. I think someone in chat earlier mentioned that apparently he had like unlimited ammo with that thing at the end. I didn't even notice that.
Well, he typed in the code, so.
Yeah, and apparently the Hobo King has like his own train network. Like he has a train he uses.
Yeah, why not? He can teleport too.
He's like a train.
He's also got RPG with infinite shots, probably.
Oh man, he beat it on pro. Good job.
I think he also has the cheat code to undo notoriety, so if the police are chasing them at any point, he can just deactivate that.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah, pretty great. I think he even has bonus costumes.
Yeah. Then the Marquis is like, yeah, here's 21 million or 26 million. And get the montage, as we said. And there's like this lady on the radio station that's like, oh, that's all for you bounty people out there. I don't know if that's a normal radio station she just chimes in, or is that an assassin radio station specifically? I don't know.
I thought the implication was that it was
assassin radio,
radio which people can hear and they wouldn't get it, but she was laying it on pretty thick as it went.
Well, I thought it was interesting when she said he's a wicked man. I was waiting for her to say, like, maybe cite the Bible and say John whatever, and be like, see, you get it, put it together, there you go. But then she just says John Wick.
Yeah, this one is for John Wick. Oh, okay.
We're not even pretending anymore, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, the Hobo King brings him closer to the church thing he wants to go, because he has a speedboat in his little tunnel as well. And then they have a little talk there, so it's like, oh, how do we summarize things on a gravestone in just a couple of words? It's like a whole life, because he put like friend on Sharon's gravestone. And then the Hobo King is like, I want it to be long live the king. He made that up a long time ago. I kind of want to see just a conversation between the Hobo King and Donnie Yen. That could be funny. And then John just leaves like, I want it to be loving husband. It's like, gotcha.
Yep.
And then, as you said, he just goes out the most obvious way, like in the public. Like he gets out
Yeah,
of
and
the
if anybody wants to
sewers.
wonder, it's like put on a fucking burly ass raincoat
Yeah.
and just wear a really absurd top hat or something. Even clown makeup, and just move through the street going oop doop 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 doop. No one's gonna think you're John Wick. They're just gonna think you're a weird guy.
Be a
And
mime.
then
You're in
and then
Paris.
and then go all the way to those stairs and be like, oh, how interesting! Look at these stairs. Oop, doop, doop, and walk up the stairs,
Little clown.
and eventually be like, I'm John Wick, by the way.
I'm sorry. Just
To have a scene where it's just John Wick pretending to pull a rope across Paris while dressed as a mime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's how he travels over there.
yeah, because I was expecting we have like back alley fights where some people happen to find him, but no, he just gets out, is on the streets, like, oh shit, there he is. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he makes his way. He has to go there. It's like complete insane battle. He's getting run over 7 times. He's running people over. He's shooting people left and
I
right.
couldn't, like, the fight starts with he just gets into a fist fight with a bunch of people, and it's just like, what? They have guns, man. And then yeah, you're right. It just hit by one car, and you're like, wow, we just hit by another car. What? What? Are you, what?
Yeah, they took that from 3 because he already got like run over 3 times in 3 or 2 even. In both. He gets run over in all of them, starting with 2, I think.
Then like full momentum crashed into a third car, and then he's hit by a fourth car. It's absolutely like it's supposed to be funny, right?
It looks funny, but he always just gets back up.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Why do they believe that fucking around with his health bar does nothing for the stakes? Why do they think that?
I don't know. Especially when they show other people just getting yeeted around and then just they're done. I don't know if they're dead or incapacitated in general, but they're just done. Well, he gets yeeted so many times.
A mistake, I think, at that point. By the way, he after the fourth car hits him, he like gets. I think he shoots the guy, the driver, or the driver's just out anyway because he crashed. And then there's some other guy who's like half knocked out. He's trying to get into the car. He does get in. And that guy tries to attack him. John hits him and drags him down to the door. Now, the sequence they're setting up is that the guy is supposed to be hanging in the door while John drives away, and then he gets hit by like a lamppost or something. The only problem is when John brings him down, or Keanu in this case, I guess, he's only got his head across the door. His 2 arms are behind the door, which means anybody would then just fall away, you know, because your head won't keep you attached to it.
Right.
But the actor knows that, and so he gets both of his arms and he puts them on the other side for John, like in the scene, because nobody would have done that, but he has to do that, otherwise the scene doesn't work. So the actor himself, he's just putting his arms through the doorway for no reason at all, and then he gets himself, killed.
Yep.
It's just stuff like that annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, I actually didn't catch that, but yeah, that's fair, of course.
That guy had a gun the whole time as well.
Yeah, but he was
pulled it out of his leg
unconscious or something. I don't know. Yeah, he. I think like right after this, he goes to the roundabout section. God, that section is absolute madness. It's like, this is where he gets hit by more cars. He gets kicked into a driving car that's about to stop. It's like a bulge in it that gets kicked. He gets kicked into the car basically.
Yeah, this is probably the sequence I hear people talking about positively the most, which I liked the least.
Oh, really?
It is a fucking mess. Absolute mess. Where are the police, by the way?
Oh, that's what I meant earlier. There's no government
exist.
body in these films.
It's the thing. We know they exist. We were shown they exist, but
Yeah.
oh well.
We've given up on that a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm not defending it. It's just that's where we're at. It's like, oh no, fuck you, police. Not happening. Don't even ask.
and while this is all happening, the radio lady is always like, oh, he's here now and there now. I'm actually not entirely sure how she gets that info. Maybe
Nope, don't know.
I don't know. Maybe nobody is putting it through to someone. No, I don't know. Probably not. Why would he do that? He's the one who wants the bounty. Why would he inform everyone? So I guess she has some people out there to just give the info, but she's just like, he's there now. Also, here's a new cool music track for you to kill people to. Then the Marquis big guy henchman comes in there. He has a fight. He kicks John into a car that just goes sideways, and it goes like, and then kicks him in there again. But we just fight on. until he gets saved by the dog, I think. And then the dog gets absolutely crushed into a car and just gets back up immediately. The dog. Even faster than John Wick.
Yeah, and that's specifically because people like dogs. That's
Yeah.
the only reason that happened.
Yeah, speaking of dogs, where the hell are my dogs? My dogs haven't been here the entire time.
Oh my god. There's content of the dog abuse in this movie.
Yeah, I know. My audio's been so uninterrupted. Oh my, no joke. Dog just hopped up on my lap.
Well, there you go.
Hi, Rocky.
Yeah, because I was thinking, oh shit, they killed the dog. Now probably the tracker guy is going absolutely ham because he loves his dog, right? And I was like, no, the dog just tumbles over and just gets back up. The dog has also car armor. I don't know.
So lucky that Mini Boss doesn't take the shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it for no reason, by the way. He's been shooting at him the whole scene. But the one time he has a clean shot, he just doesn't.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's the one time John doesn't use his coat to protect himself as well. He just gives up. It's really weird. It's almost like everyone knew the dog was going to come in and save the day.
Yeah. There's things like I didn't even completely notice. You probably find a lot of things if you go in like with a fine comb, which I didn't do that much this time. But I'll be getting onto that, of course. But yeah, there's just lots of things. Like, people not shooting. There's this one scene where he just drifts around 2 cars or 4 cars even, and just
yeah,
keeps
and they
shooting.
all miss everything because they all suck.
Oh yeah, that's probably just to point out again. It's just there's so many people shooting at John, and they always only hit the suit or don't hit at all. No leg shots, no head shots, no hand shots. It's just, and he gets battered with bullets at some point. It's nutty. But yeah, he does all that thing, gets saved by nobody because he's still kind of talking to the Marquis guy. Trying to get money, and the Marquis is like, no, I won't. Then he hangs up, and at some point he gets the cash, and he goes even higher when they calls him back. And then they end up in a building, and the Marquis calls him back. It's like, oh, okay, you got a deal, but it's now 40 million. And the Marquis guy is like, well, fuck it. If I gotta pay that much for you, guy, I'm just gonna put the bounty on 40 mil as well. If I have to pay that much for you, I might as well pay for everyone else, I guess. Just get all the bodies in there. And then we get to the Hotline Miami section, and I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so did I.
Why?
Honestly, might be one of the reasons I'm as positive on the movie as I am.
I found it stylistically pretty cool, and I think you couldn't see most of the arrows in this one because I couldn't really tell what was high up and what was cover and what wasn't cover. But I enjoyed it. That's basically it.
And part of that was because it's actually kind of funny, and it's almost them telling on themselves too for how they could have been structuring some of the action scenes. Is that you guys are aware of Hotline Miami, right? Have you guys ever played the game? I guess I'll ask that question.
Yeah,
I played it a bit.
Okay, so you know how many hits you can take in Hotline Miami before you die? Yeah. So how do you have to play Hotline Miami? Pretty carefully, right? Like you gotta actually be kind of making a plan of, okay, I'm gonna kick in this door and knock that guy over. He's just gonna be stunned but not dead, and then I'm gonna throw the bat that I have at this other guy across the room that'll knock him down. I'm gonna then kick in the first guy's skull, run over to the other dude, pick up the knife that he was holding, stab him with it, and then go. You know what I mean? You have to come up with those plans in order to get through Hotline Miami. And that is the kind of stuff that they could have been doing to make all of the action scenes as engaging as I thought that final one that they did with the Hotline Miami cinematography, essentially.
Well, I think there was still some instance where, like, I think that there was like a staircase thingy where I wasn't really sure why the one guy just didn't look over the staircase when he knew he was coming up there. That's one thing I remember.
He's got hyperplot armor. It's all the same shit. Nobody shoots at him well, and everybody waits for their cues. It's the exact same thing with this sequence as well.
Oh, see,
It's
I
just
found that in that sequence, things seemed to be moving more organically. Oh, because I remember thinking, oh, he's actually taking cover now and like surprising them and getting, and also that I think the Dragon's Breath shotgun had the whole visual effect of almost the same way that the animations in Hotline Miami, if you pick up a shotgun, it sort of looks like a spread shot thing. It was giving the viewer a visual indication of the damage John is doing and which direction it's moving, which means you always kind of knew where he was facing. And I thought that they did a pretty decent job of choreographing it. Granted, I saw it once in theater, so maybe if I went
I'm gonna be
through
honest with you. I have never had a problem understanding what direction he's shooting people at in all the
Mm.
scenes.
Oh, well, I mean, I, I guess I don't think I'm explaining that properly because yeah, I mean, it's not specifically the direction. It's just you feel the projectile that he actually is firing at them, I guess, a little bit more because you can see it, and that. Oh man, I'm trying to like actually structure this back to a point, and I think I've now tangented myself into a pretzel. So hold on. All right, I think that it acts as something of a touchstone to go back to, like a compass, where you can. Man, I don't know. It's. I think it's just going to end up sounding stupid. The point that I'm trying to make, so I'll just not make it.
I got 2 points
give
of
up.
credit that I'm surprised neither of you have really said yet. I don't think anyway. But the first thing is, did you notice what song plays?
I didn't.
It's the song that plays in the club in the first film. It's the same one.
Oh,
Ah,
So
yeah.
throwback. I like the song. It's neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bit of meaning there, I suppose. And then of course, just that even if this wasn't particularly impressive to me choreography wise, because everyone he kills just has to be stupid. But it would have been difficult to create all of this and film this way. So I appreciate the effort, I guess, and it's new,
Yeah.
at least as a viewpoint.
I guess that's why I enjoyed it. A lot of times just couldn't tell if he was like in proper cover and they couldn't tell him. So I gave them probably a lot of benefit of the doubt with this one. Yeah, I still enjoy it, but I wonder how much
Well, I would say
how well it holds up if I.
what you're watching
Yeah.
is what everyone else is watching all the time in these movies. Meanwhile, you've gotten bored and accustomed to a lot of stuff. You're not bored and
Yeah.
accustomed to this, but if this were to be played in John Wick 5 and 6 and 7, you'd eventually think this is shit.
That's probably fair, yeah. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
if we find ourselves waiting for the top-down fight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like a thing that happens in every movie. It's like, oh no, we didn't see it. Okay, it'll be in the post-credit scene, I guess.
Also, it was something satisfying to see him shooting the dragon breath at people and just go like, ah, because I'm a sick person.
Yeah.
Uh,
I already knew that.
so this ultimately ends up in him and nobody having to fight because now nobody is after him, of course, with that big cash check. And well, he's basically beating nobody at the end. But then
Well, and you know how it works with a whole, like, when you fight someone who's important, suddenly you can't do your normal insta-kills. I thought it was
Oh, yeah.
fucking hilarious, by the way, that John tackles him, and he just happens to fucking tackle him into a hole in the floor where they both fall down.
Oh yeah, that does happen.
Only in John Wick does that shit happen all the time.
He has him like in a chokehold, and before he dies, he sees that his dog is about to get attacked by the Marquis guy, and he's like, "No, I like dogs." So
Yeah, which I thought was actually lame.
So he.
Yes, I'm taking the controversial position.
Oh, it's fine. It's just like, oh, now we're cool because we needed this guy to help him later on again.
John
Yeah.
understands that this is a hitman who's
Yep.
been waiting for the money to go up enough to kill him and use the money to do whatever he wants, and the dog is his partner in crime that bites people's necks and nuts off. And what? Because the mini boss is about to shoot the dog that tried to kill him, you feel the need to defend the dog. Does John remember that his dog was an innocent dog that just liked to play?
Mm-hmm.
This is a fucking assassin dog that kills people.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, but it's a dog. John Wick's about dogs. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for reminding me you have no idea what the point of the first one was.
John's dog was a beagle puppy. It's not the same.
Yeah.
John's
This one is
dog
trying
was
to
a
kill.
cute little doggo who was a direct link to his wife and just wanted to live. That's all.
Yeah. And then the next wave of people arrive, and then, well, the thing happens.
Yeah,
jumps
four
out.
stories.
It's the third floor window. He jumps out of it onto a car. The roof is completely bent and falls onto the floor.
Yeah, more damage goes to the fucking truck than it does to him.
It's even worse than the one we've seen before. There's no break in between or something. He just jumps out.
As someone just said in chat, and I said this to Free, it is a literal aim for the bushes moment that is stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just what else can you say? There are movies that make fun of this, and they make it less ridiculous.
Yeah, you would expect there's like, I don't know, like boxes or like, I don't know, the classic truck with trash bags in the bag, you know? But this is just like, no, he falls onto a car that breaks the roof and then he
The
gets
whole
up
fucking
and
appeal
leaves.
of John Wick is that he is the best assassin on Earth. People can't stop him because he's so fucking clever and skilled. And then you make me watch him escape a building with his assassins by jumping out of the fucking thing, like, and just face planting a car. Like, how do you think that this makes me go, wow, what an impressive man John Wick is?
It's impressive he survived that.
It really is.
So he goes like, oh, that sucks. Anyway, I gotta go to that church. He walks away. Also, there's nobody outside waiting for him. It's a street. There's nobody there.
Nope.
They're all inside already, I guess. So yeah, we're getting close to the end here. There's like one or two more fighting section. Don't worry, there's more fighting. He's getting like circled by like a couple of people. Then he crashes a bicycle into one of them, I think, and just runs away. And then he gets to the big stairs in Paris. I forgot the name of them. Maybe
Yeah,
someone...
and you can just summarize this as John versus 1,000 men who none can shoot at him, and even if they do, it bounces off, and he just kills all of them.
Yeah, and then he gets... I mean, yeah, there's literally nothing else in that one.
There's nothing interesting in terms of how they do the fights on that part as well. This seemed a bit rushed. It was just like, he's on a staircase, he shoots them all, shut up.
Yeah. And then he gets to the top, and just thinking about it makes me laugh. He gets to the top, there's a lot of men up there. The Marquis henchman, big boy, is there. And it's like, yo. And then he kicks him, and he tumbles down, and he tumbles. And he tumbles. First flare of stairs. Rolls through. Tumbles. It takes 20 seconds. It takes 20 seconds until he's halfway through. But the other guy, the Marquis, he is directly behind him. He's like, ha!
I want it known.
Yeah.
There's no way it could happen without John's, like, how would I put this? John's intention to do so.
Yeah.
Momentum and gravity don't work this way. Like, if you watch the stairs, they're pretty flat compared to how steep stairs can be, and there's several breakages between this. He has to. If you watch him falling, he has to do it himself. Like, he has to push himself further and further.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Between each stairwell.
Yeah, and he just keeps on rolling and rolling, like, deliberately. He is partaking in this fucking scene, this farce. It's like, yes, isn't it hilarious?
It was hilarious. I'm pretty, as I said, people in my theater were laughing, and someone chat said, yeah, in their theater were laughing too. It's like, yeah, because
that's John Wick for you.
Completely absurd. It's like it keeps going. It's like a joke. You expect it to just go on for another minute because right now we're in this joke territory, like the Monty Python running soldier bit. You know, it's like diddly 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 diddly. So he gets halfway, it's like, we're done. But the Marquis guy is behind him, and he punches him and yeets him down the rest of the stairs, which takes another 10 seconds or whatever.
And he broke his spine again.
Yeah, because I think he tosses him into the lamppost, and then he just goes like, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, now he's all the way on the bottom. It's like, oh man. Remember, we're on a timer. We have to get to the place at noon or at sunrise or whatever you want to call it.
Between 2 and 3 minutes remain.
And they should not have said that because they take like 3 minutes for the next scene to happen. So we're already done.
There's already too much in-universe time, let alone montage time.
Yeah. Because Kane is here. It's like, I'm gonna help you. And then, they fight up there. And now the Kane guy, he just shoots people afar.
Yep.
They try to make an effort where John says, there's 2 on the left side. And he says, thank you. It's like, yeah, okay, but where on the left side? It's a lot of left to your left.
They gave up.
But he just shoots people from across. It's really weird. But it's a shame because I liked his fighting scenes. They were was pretty creative. And then they fight their way up. They have their boss fight against the Marquis henchman. And now the tracker is here as well, and he's angry. No, so he helps him too because you tried to shoot my dog, and hey, they get the payoff. He gets to bite the nuts of the guy. It's like, ha! And then they kill him. And that's basically it. I don't think there's anything specifically to point out. They just fight their way back up, but faster, I guess. So of course they have to fight now in the duel. So they make their way there, and he's like, you owe me one. And then he stabs him in his hand. Donnie Yen does, John Wick. And I was like, okay, we're even now.
Wait, one thing I just wanted to mention quick, I think there's like a kill Donnie Yen does on the staircase that I really liked, where he basically absolutely annihilates a dude by like putting his sword into him, punch, 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 and then takes the sword out, puts it back in, hits him in the neck, puts it back, slice, and like ends it by, I think, it happens so fast, I'm not even sure. I think he shoots him through the head, and like there's a blood splatter, and so he just ends the entire amazing combat with going, like blood.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, again, he's great in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they're here now, and the Marquis is like, damn it, he actually made it. Now you have to do the thing. And they have to do their dueling pistols. It's 30 paces. If they don't die after that one, 10 paces closer together, and so on. Every time 10 paces, I think it was.
Yep.
They have to take off their suits. Oh, look at that. They're
my god.
Honorable duel people. They're stakes. Oh my god. They're not invincible. That's crazy. And they take off the jackets, and you hear like bling, 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 bling. Like the bullets fall on the floor. I was like, oh god, they got hit so many times.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I think Mark mentioned already. The Marquis tries to rile Kane up. It's like, remember your daughter, and just like, fuck off.
Such a good delivery.
It is, yeah.
It's like, fuck off. It's like,
it's because he's a chill dude throughout the entire movie. I think, is that the first time you even hear him use the word fuck?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So it is a great idea, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Because it just says to me that the guy is at the end of his rope, and he knows exactly what's going on, and he'll do everything you're asking him to. Just get the fuck away from me, for Jesus Christ.
I'm about to have to fight my friend.
Nothing you can say will ever make me respect you.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, they play 3 rounds. They have to play 3 rounds of this. I think the first one, John hits Donnie once a little bit, not too bad. Then hits him a bit hard on the second one. And then on the third one, John gets hit pretty hard. Actually, I think John gets hit in the shoulder before. Like, they hit each other.
Yeah, they both get, like, clipped.
Yeah.
And then Donnie Yen gets shot in the gut on the left, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or his right. While John is, like, fine, I think. And then in the third round, Donnie Yen hits John in the gut.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, I was like, John hasn't fired yet, has he?
I wasn't even thinking. I was just watching at that point. I also had to pee really bad. It was that part in the cinema.
It happens.
But yeah, of course, it was like, the Marquis, because he's evil, edgy guy. I demand to do the coup de grace. I want to kill John. And then when it's like, oh man, you're an idiot. What I do like is Donnie's like, oh, so we cool then, right? I get all my things that you told me to. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Get out of here. It's like, okay, well, I'm cool. I like that he made sure that that he's cool.
I don't like the event at all. If you're the Marquis, who's been portrayed in this film up to this point as pretty careful and cold,
Oh yeah.
the idea that he's like, yeah, you win because John fell over. That means I get to do the final shot, right? Daddy, please, I wanna.
Yeah, I want to get
Like,
that.
no. He
No.
would sit there and he would wait for Donnie Yen to do like a finishing shot, and he would
Yes.
ask, like, has John lost? Is it official? Hello?
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to get involved. He wouldn't risk himself.
Yeah, because he effectively, do I understand? He effectively changed places with Kane now.
Yeah, because he raised a gun that was loaded, so I guess that I don't know. You know how this works. The fucking Clancy Brown could have been like, you have breached the rules and now the duel is off and nothing counts. Or he could have said, John Wick, you shot the man when he thought you were lost. You tricked him, and that means you're excommunicado forever.
The
Yeah.
I
next
don't
one's
fucking
gonna
know.
start with Clancy Brown trying to tell the high table, them killing Clancy Brown and being like, it doesn't matter that it accepts the rule. John is still excommunicado. And it's like, wait, what?
Oh,
We're back
man.
to this?
So yeah, they changed. Then Wins is like, you're really an idiot, are you? It's like, what? Why? He didn't fire yet. It's like, first of all, why did you warn him? He already had his gun on him, I think. So, but yeah, he gets.
By the way,
Huh?
nobody is reacting to all of these things as if he's watching it. He can't possibly be watching it, can he?
Wait, who now?
Nobody. Stranger tracker man.
Oh, isn't he like on the bench somewhere close and he's watching it?
Oh, the character.
My impression was that he was only ever reacting to gun sounds, because whenever it shows like a sound, it'll cut to him and he sort of like blankly looks around and it looks like he's thinking about what it could mean.
Okay, because I thought he was like close by and was watching it straight up.
I was getting really confused because I was like, is he allowed to be here? Is he here?
Yeah.
Because you never see like a shot with him in the background, as far as I can tell, anyway.
No, it's only him and the dog.
I don't know why he'd be allowed in there anyway.
I don't know. I don't even know how they made this happen. Like, it's a really big plateau, and no one is here, and they just shoot each other up there. Like, does it happen often?
Well, it was confusing the hell out of me the way they shot it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get it. So I thought he was just there drinking a beer, chilling out. Because I think the reason you asked is because he goes like, oh, that was wild that he did that. But if you were, of course, confused if he was actually there, that makes sense.
Well, if he was there, then yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah,
But
I
like
thought
said,
it was close by because he looked like in a specific direction. I think I would need
I
to.
just don't know why. Why would he be welcome? Why would they?
I don't
care if
know.
he's here?
I really don't know. The Marquis guy should be like, you motherfucker. I thought you had a deal. Like, he should be really mad at him, but he doesn't even react to him. So yeah, I get the confusion. Now I'm confused too. Thank you.
Yay.
So yeah, the Marquis guy gets shot in the face, and the hourglass guy's like, oh well, yeah, you won. You're absolved of all your sins. Blah blah blah. Winston gets your hotel bag. Table pays. You're reinstated. It's all cool. And
That's GG.
that's GG. And John is like, Winston, are you gonna take me home, please? He's like, of course. And then he goes down, sheds all his items and weaponry from himself, sits down, looks in the sunset, and collapses. And we cut to his grave, and he's dead? Question mark. We don't.
I legit thought he was. I didn't realize there was a fifth movie coming, and
But it's already been
just told him about
shot,
that.
so this could be a
Also, wait, I thought
maybe?
that information got updated, that they didn't actually end up shooting it, and that they're taking a break from John Wick. That's what I've heard now.
Yeah, no, they take a break. I thought they already had everything in the can back to back, like together.
But
that's what
my
I thought.
assumption is that he's not dead at all, that they've faked his death,
Yeah, that's what I was.
so he can
going for.
live in peace or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, someone's gonna do something in the next movie and be like, I wanted to be done with this, but I gotta come back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shit.
No, it's gonna be great. So yeah, and I guess there was this after credit scene that I didn't see. So that was like with the three, as we mentioned earlier. Koji daughter, the Kane guy, and Winston, I think it was, and they have like a little thingy going on. And yeah, that's John Wick. He might or might not be dead. Depends if they want to make another one. And I would be surprised if they don't make another one in like, I don't know, 3 years or whatever.
Michelle Yeoh, leader of the High Table. He's got to kill it. Do it.
Killer.
Just do it. Kill the High Table. They suck.
They suck. So yeah, that's that one. It's how should we put it? If you loved the second and the third one, you're gonna love this to bits. The things I appreciate about John Wick, they're long gone. This is all a bit clownish to me. Every time they kind of get me into the enjoyment factor, he starts jumping out of windows or gets run over by 7 cars. And I was like, oh, you almost got me to just enjoy it, but I don't mind suspension of disbelief. I mean, I fucking watch wrestling, guys. Come on, I can take a lot, but even they have their rules in their universe that they have to adhere to, and this is not how we set it up. I really feel like John Wick 1 is like its own thing, and then they started making the franchise with something else. It's so much. Yeah. It's so far disconnected from the first one that I really, really like. Like, I really like that movie to this day. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty clownish to me. But I do see why a lot of people really, really, really like it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, as the person, like I said, that was there who probably liked it the most, it is really, when you pick it apart, it really kind of starts crumbling pretty fast. And I feel like the next time I watch it, watch this one specifically, I might find myself more and more bothered by all of the, little things like shielding your face with the tuxedo, the coattail, and it being invincible, and things like him falling off the 5th or 6th story of a nightclub and then smacking an I-beam with his spine and just being okay. It does get a little bit crazy. I think, though, when I'm watching the movies, my reaction tends to be limited to just, I roll my eyes, say, oh, that was dumb, and then I kind of move on, and I'm ready to just see the next cool thing that the stunt people do. I actually think it's funny that you mentioned wrestling, because I think my enjoyment of movies like this is probably more akin to the way people enjoy wrestling than the way I enjoy other movies, or movies that I, tend to get behind more for the story.
I don't know. I would actually give wrestling more credit than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into wrestling, so I can't really say why.
Because there's certain rules, like the whole whip in, for example, where you toss someone into the ropes and they run back at you. It's like, of course, that's not gonna happen. It's like, no one gets punched in the corner 10 times and doesn't bleed or gets knocked out. Like, it's stuff like that, right? But that's like things you, as a wrestling fan, them. It's like, oh, that's how this is how this wrestling universe, for lack of a better term, works.
Well, also, you got to give a lot of leeway for something that's a live performance as well.
Right.
I mean, and I mean, I appreciate that. Before I lost my limb, I was something of a martial artist myself. I used to do competitive kickboxing, karate, and kung fu, and all sorts of things like that. I've done a lot of training with these things, and I sometimes just like seeing people that are at a high level with it do stuff. And I think John Wick's a great example of a series where I get bothered by it when they're not in a fight scene. Like it was actually making it difficult for me during this viewing of John Wick 4 to figure out when I should run to the washroom and pee, because I'm like, well, I mean, generally, like in a Marvel movie, I think once a CGI bullshit fight scene starts, I can kind of get up, go take a piss, come back, and then not really miss much. Whereas here, I'm like, well, I kind of want to get up during the story, but at the same time, I've got to talk about this on Metal's Force, so I don't want to be confused about what's going on. So I was like, oh man, I was uncomfortable towards the end of that movie. I'll just leave it at that. I did not pee in my pants, though.
Oh,
that was someone else at that theater that I was at.
Oh no.
No, I'm kidding.
It was almost such a good story.
Yeah.
Oh god. But yeah, that's that. There you go. Any last thoughts, lads?
Bad.
Bad. Well, that's pretty concise. There you go.
Bad, but I liked it. I guess. Probably.
Yeah, I like some of it. Pieces, little bits.
Yeah. Like for me, it's
no,
mostly
I
the
say
way.
my
Oh, go
opinion
ahead.
was bad, but I liked it. I assumed you did not like it.
Yeah.
Wait, me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I like little bits, little bits here and there, some stuff.
Well, there you go. Well, let's do the super chats real quick, and then we shall be out of here. $2 from Hyperbolic Ninja. Thank you very much. Mark, are you going to Vegas for FNT meetup?
I am.
Ooh.
It's is it last? Yeah, it's exactly a month today, April 26th at the Millennium Fandom Bar in Las Vegas. X-Ray Girl and I will be there. And for anyone wondering, X-Ray Girl is not single.
Mr. Taco, $20. Thank you very much. Easily the worst one, and people defend this. He survives like 8 cars and 2 cliff level falls. Even the plot makes no sense with how he was able to teleport place to place. Horrible acting and generic dialogue that makes no sense.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about basically all these things. I don't know if I would call the acting horrible. I don't know. I think it was fine for the most part.
The less Keanu talks, the better. But,
Yeah, there's something about it. Yeah.
Donnie Yen was really good.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't be underappreciated the effort of Keanu Reeves. I think because I think he did like 80% of the scenes himself, and he's not young.
Yeah,
It's actually kind of nuts what he had to learn and do. It's pretty cool. I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see. Another $2 from Mr. Taco. Donnie Yen was likable, but that's it. Well, I guess we agree with that. For $20 from Sam Wallazar. Thank you. I love the never point a gun at me again scene in Sicario. 2 pistol shots to Lady Kevlar's vest, and she's on the floor coughing up a lung. Kevlar doesn't make the impact go away, just makes it hit
It doesn't
more.
kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes it hit more of you. Yeah.
Probably, if you get hit with a reasonably large caliber round in a bulletproof vest in a plate that actually has a ceramic plate which shatters on the inside, you can only get hit in that kind of vest once, and then that's it, and that's the ones that we use in the military. You're probably pretty likely gonna have like a collapsed lung from it, like a pneumothorax, because it's like you gotta picture it's like getting punched in the chest by a bullet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is. It should be.
Also,
exactly
shout out to Sicario for being legendary.
Yeah.
I think you showed me that movie, actually.
I quite love it.
It's pretty good.
Denis Villeneuve's best, I think.
No $2 from Mr. Taco. Fast and the Furious movies, but with style, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I like John Wick more.
Has the exact same fate as the Fast and the Furious
If they
series.
keep going, yeah.
That's actually a good point, yeah.
John Wick in space, do it, cowards.
Oh man, Fast and Furious arc when? I'm gonna have to do that. It should be fun stuff. 20 bucks, Mr. Taco. The trial by combat nonsense is apparently a myth to Baguette Man. But then in the next scene, everyone knows how the trial by combat mechanics and rule work. What the fuck? Also, the sun rises for 30 seconds and then just stops. Oh yeah, it stays there for a while. That's true. Yeah.
It's symbolic, you fuckers.
You fuckers. $5 by Automata, thank you. So, with all the invincible suits, do we still have 0 uses of Molotov cocktails to emulate and suffocate the people wearing them?
Oh no, there's the Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, but they don't use. He uses it on other ones. They tried, but then they failed.
Well, one of his enemies thought of it. We gotta give them that. They thought, hey, why don't we do something that sets them on fire?
How about you just aim at anything that's not the suit? That would be a good one as well.
Yeah,
it's actually quite interesting. No one actually uses any like explosives. I don't think there's any explosives in the movies, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe they should.
How Jose Gonzalez, $5. Thank you. John Wick 5, John Base in the Waters of Mandalore after killing the Ancient One in Kamartaj. I sense a pattern in these hidden society stories. John, did you go to the Sacred Waters? Yeah. That's great. Wolfsman, $5. Thank you. Paint in Black is so overplayed to the point where I miss Bad to the Bone in every action movie.
Yep.
Nice.
First thing I can remember hearing Painted Black in, other than, on a Rolling Stones album, would be there was an old Vietnam War show in like maybe the late 80s or early 90s that my dad would watch. And the opening credits scene was Painted Black by the Rolling Stones. It was Tour Duty was the name of the show. But if you watch it on DVD or streaming now, it is not Painted Black in the intro because they ran out of the licensing deal.
Yeah, it's like this reminds me of like GTA, where the newer versions don't have the songs anymore because of the rights. Good stuff. Yeah. And then $5 by James Moore. John Wick 4 bad. So anyways, back to Remake 4. That's probably going to be it, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's that. That's all the super chat to Roonies. So yeah, as I said, I really... Oh, no, there was another one. Highball Ninja, $5 Roonies. MauLer, do a contextless breakdown of Picard Season 3. Contextless breakdown. Oh, I guess without seeing the other ones.
I've only seen one episode of that, so.
Like Mark, I live in Vegas. I couldn't make the last two meetups, but I'll see you there this time. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, right on, man.
Awesome.
See you there, Hyperbolic Ninja. I will probably be drunk if it's anything like last year.
Sweet. Do one closer
so
I
I
can come over.
Oh, we're gonna be in the UK in September 3rd to 10th. So if you guys find yourselves free, beers all around.
Oh my god!
I think we're going to see Stonehenge with Gary.
Oh,
I'm sure that'll be fun.
UK massive. But yeah, there you go. That's the Johnny Boy Wiki Boy. As I said, we moved away from the things I liked about it. I think people don't really remember the first one that well. What it was about, or at least the writers, I guess. I don't know. I don't know who's responsible for where we got, because it's a lot of we need to reestablish a thing for John to do so we can do the other movies, and well, here we are, and well, people like it. I see why, but I think it's very dumb and I hate it. Here we go. That's my final words.
Beautiful.
Yeah, guys, Mark, what's up with you? What are you up to? Tell the fine people in the chat.
I am probably going to be streaming Resident Evil 4 right after this. I might just grab myself a bite to eat and get going on the old YouTube channel. I guess if you go follow me over there, MarcTheCyborg on YouTube. I made a big long video about Metroid that is still doing pretty well. So I'm stuck making YouTube shorts every single day for the rest of my life, or until the algorithm starts hating me, which tends to happen.
Yeah.
Although I'm not controversial, so I don't know why. Like I tend to not tackle subjects that should get me. They're just like, oh, video game stuff. Recommend IGN and only IGN. It's like, thanks.
Yes. Go follow the link. Click it. I'll hurt you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Mubsley, what are you doing?
Probably streaming Resident Evil 4 as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then covering this very same movie, but with the lads.
Wow.
On the next EFAP. And then you got your Mandos and your Gotham Knights that'll be popping out where they can. So there's also that.
Yeah.
I keep on forgetting Gotham Knights is a show as well as a game, and I hear they're both terrible.
Show is not very good. That's true. Haven't looked anything at the game, but yeah, go follow the Mubschelheimer as well if you haven't already. As for me, the Resident Evil streams too. Gonna have to finish my current script. I think it's only one more redraft away. I just can't measure when I'm done with the redrafting. I just do it until I feel like it's good, and then I have to just do it, I guess. But that's why I'm gonna do that. So that's gonna happen at some point. I actually don't know what the next forge is gonna be about. As I said before, I'm gonna be more selective with the forges now. Not just throw shit at the wall. So yeah, maybe I'll do one on Resident Evil. Maybe like a little conversation piece, like what was the experience and stuff. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But I'm gonna be playing it a lot, and then I'll decide. But yeah, gaming streams, stuff's happening, working away, all the good stuff. But yeah, that's that. Any last words, fellas?
No, sir.
Well,
Other than
Play
thanks for
Resident Evil 4.
having me.
no, of course, no problem. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the next Forge, next anything, whenever I be. You find me here, or on weird MauLer videos where we watch terrible TV shows, or sometimes good ones. That's cool. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you all next one. Goodbye.
Boy.
Bye-bye.